Hello, and welcome to episode 66 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I am Jeffrey.
I'm Brian.
We're just two guys drinking beer, talk what's going on. We got Ray with us. And also we got Ron with us again, our Australian friend who's come over and told us all about the horrors that happened down there. Of course, as soon as I get started, my phone starts ringing. At least I wasn't proud to be an American.
That's because you're not the judge.
Yeah,
In the Kyle Rittenhouse case.
we'll get to that.
Should we start with Australia, or do you want to start someplace else?
Well, I just wanted to mention this woman at the zoo because I laughed my ass off
All right.
when I heard about the woman that jumped in the lion enclosure and like tried to love it. Well, I don't know if you remember, but the first thing I thought was someone did this at the same zoo like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It was the same woman.
What?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. I was like, you jumped in the lion enclosure twice. Like, you know what? We'll let the damn thing eat her. You know?
Yeah.
It's a joke.
I thought that was hilarious.
There's a one particular lion that she was chasing after.
You got a thing for lions?
Oh no, it's
Just
a
after
one
a bit of-
particular lion.
Just after a bit of pussy, boys.
That's a really big pussy though.
And it bites back.
It's got great big pointy teeth.
Yeah, it sounds like my ex.
He's a man eater.
Anyway, Brian, if you want to take the lead, guide us in a direction tonight. I woke up pretty hungover this morning, which is very uncommon for me.
Well, Hunter Biden's got a new movie coming out.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
My son Hunter, and it's going to be a movie about Hunter Biden smoking and partying with scantily clad women.
Who's producing this movie?
I don't know.
No.
Charlie Sheen.
I bet it might be another way to make money off his artwork, you know?
Probably.
In fact, Charlie Sheen playing the main part as bloody Hunter.
yeah, and Alec Baldwin.
I want to see the second show, the remake.
I just don't know what that. I know it's not on the list at all, but this Alec Baldwin thing, I don't understand why there hasn't been an actual investigation. I mean, he pointed a weapon at someone, squeezed the trigger, and they died.
Because he's a star.
You kidding me? We almost crucified a kid in the street for him. You know what I mean? And then this guy is just like, boom.
Yeah, but he's not. But Rittenhouse is not a Democrat Hollywood lefty that we know of. So
that kid Rittenhouse had better trigger control, trigger discipline, and self-control than Alec Baldwin did.
Oh, and there's a picture in the article of Hunter Biden like pursuing his art in Los Angeles.
Pursuing his art.
Yeah, it's got a picture of him doing the artwork. I can paint better than he can. He's got more paint on him than he does on the canvas.
I for whatever reason can't seem to get that to load, unfortunately. How do you do that screen share thing? You should whatever.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, let me see this picture of Hunter Biden. Is he smoking crack in the picture or Parmesan
No,
cheese?
he's got the paintbrush in his mouth.
Oh,
Think it's a pipe.
oh, there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, why is he covered in paint?
That's how good of an artist he is.
Dude, that's not him, is he?
No.
And no, yeah, and that's not a paintbrush. That is a crack pipe.
Okay. So he looks like he's doing finger painting now that I look at it again.
It does.
Dude, a 3-year-old can do better artwork than that.
Well, it makes me think though, like, why aren't more of these dirty politicians selling art to launder their money? You can sell art for whatever the hell someone will give you for it. You know what I mean? It's subjective. There's no objective value. I don't know. I'm just amazed that I don't see more of this crap with people with warehouses of paintings that they spent $20 million on to bribe someone,
Yeah.
$20 million painting that they just burned because it was garbage.
That's more money to be made in insider trading, mate. Jeez.
Did we
So
ever?
I don't think we did talk about Project Veritas being raided by the FBI.
Yeah, James O'Keefe and all them. I'm surprised we never brought this up.
We were too drunk.
Huh?
Probably. That
We
tends
were
to
too
happen.
drunk.
Well, he was alleged. Yeah, that happens a lot. He supposedly was doing an investigation into the FBI about some stuff that they were doing, and he had like a whole bunch of leaked
No.
sources. And then they go
Yeah,
and
the
raid.
diary.
Yeah, well, then they go and raid all of these reporters' houses, and the best part is it was to get this Ashley Biden's diary that Project Veritas could not verify, so they never published anything out of it. The Bidens denied ownership of it because it was basically, it was disgusting. It was saying that like she remembers taking showers, inappropriate showers with her father, Joe. All sorts of weird stuff, and they couldn't verify any of it. So like, we're not publishing it because they,
Right.
they actually respect themselves. Well, when the FBI came in and raided to take back the stolen property, and they said he has Ashley Biden's diary. All you can think was they just verified that this thing is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is it the same with Rudy Giuliani as well? When they raided him?
Yeah, exactly. They was going in there.
Here's the evidence, take it with you, and they left it behind.
Yeah, exactly. They took what they wanted to make sure that you didn't have it. They didn't give a shit about
Right.
actual crime. That's
This must
freaking
be
terrifying because, well, Rittenhouse, they're talking about pressing federal charges.
Which
And there's
one?
supposed to be civil suits against them too now. So
I'm not surprised by that at all. There's always civil suits.
OJ Simpson was sued in civil court and lost.
Yeah, well, he actually murdered 2 people though.
But is it true that Rittenhouse and Salmon are actually going to have joint custody of CNN?
They're gonna own, between the 2 of them, they're gonna own CNN here pretty soon. You're right. I was actually thinking that. I was
Shares.
wondering what kind of case might this kid actually have in a defamation suit against a news company?
I was reading some articles today about it, and they're gonna say that he was a public figure.
He was 17 years old.
It doesn't matter because he's in the news so much. They're gonna call him a public figure, and it's gonna be a lot harder for him to prove defamation than if it was you or me going after somebody.
Well, and you have to prove like actual loss from defamation too. Like you lost wages, like you lost your job.
They called him a white supremacist. You tell me he didn't, and he can prove loss of wages and loss of financial gain because GoFundMe shut down his defense fund.
Yeah.
And refunded all the money that people put into it.
Does anyone here know how that GoFundMe works? Like, how do they have that criteria for what they authorize and don't?
Don't have to have a
They make
criteria.
it up
do
as
you?
they go.
Well, you need some kind of policy or else you're discriminating, right? I mean, that's the whole point of having a
That's what
policy.
they're doing. They're discriminating.
That's actually illegal, isn't it? Or it's
That
not.
depends on if you're gay or not.
Actually, I think it's only illegal to discriminate against politics in Washington, D.C. Now that I think about it, but still, man, I don't know.
How many celebrities come out and bag the guy? How many people actually put him down? Like I'd
Oh.
tell you what, I'd love to be a lawyer backing him up on this one. I could
Well,
retire after this case.
Possibly, but it's difficult because a lot of these people are doing opinion. Like even Ben and Jerry's came out and said something, but they were smart enough to say what would happen if, and then they described the same scenario. Or they described a made up scenario and compared it to Rittenhouse and said, but because he was white. But that's they told the fake story about smuggling weapons across state lines, killing people of minority status and everything like that.
Yeah. And I've heard a couple
but-
of different things that President Biden came out and said after the verdict.
It was
I
part of his
heard-
campaign commercials.
Well,
There's a
yeah,
picture of
yeah.
Rittenhouse. Huh?
But now that he's been acquitted on all the charges, he
Hmm.
came out and said, well, he's leaving it up to the jury. But then, like in another article, I said he calls for calm, and the not guilty verdict leaves him angry and concerned.
Yeah, I read the
Which
same one
you
too.
can't have it both ways. You can't have it saying that it's a jury trial. You got to trust the jury, and then oh well, I'm concerned, and they're talking about doing DOJ investigations into the case and things like all kinds of crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, depending on what they try to even bring him up on in a federal case, the defense might actually have an argument about double jeopardy, depending on what they try to charge him with. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And why would it be in a federal courtroom?
Yeah,
No,
it's
huh?
a state issue.
But he didn't. None of the things in question happened while crossing across the state border. He was on one side of the border when all of it happened.
And the weapon he had was always in Wisconsin. It never crossed state lines like so many of the reporters have been saying. And in Wisconsin, he was legally authorized to have that gun.
Yes, we actually talked specifically about that law last week. By the way, I would like to correct myself. I prematurely said that they had dropped that gun charge on him. They did about 27 hours later. Maybe I just jumped ahead when I saw what happened and heard what happened. But I did say that they had dropped the gun charge before it actually happened. They ended up doing it anyway, but I do like to correct myself when I'm wrong.
Is it true that someone's petitioned the Oxford English Dictionary to get a new word put in there?
What's that word?
When you stuff up and you make a total dicky yourself, it's called having a binger.
Binga binga.
Dude,
Okay.
did you guys watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he look like Little Fingers?
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember which Littlefinger was, honestly.
He was
I'll send you a picture.
All right. So I guess we're just gonna talk about Rittenhouse. I knew we were gonna go straight to it anyway.
Might as well.
Mhm.
I mean, it just came out yesterday. You know,
There's the elephant in the room
I
right
really
now.
thought with the way how long the jury was taking to come up with a verdict that it was going to be a hung jury or they're going to find him guilty on some lesser charge. I was pretty shocked by the non-verdict, the non-guilty on all charges. Because normally, if they're taking 4 or 5 days to come up with a verdict,
You know,
there's some shit going on.
everyone was saying that, but they came back in the Derek Chauvin trial in like 45 minutes and sent him to prison forever.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I think honestly, I would prefer the jury take their time and make sure that they've looked at all the evidence. I do trust the jury system in general because it's one thing to say, oh, people are this way and that way, but when it comes down in reality, if you're on that jury and you look at it, it's like, okay, so a whole bunch of nasty shit went down. Should we end this kid's life right now over it though? Like he was 17 when this happened.
Yeah.
Well, and also,
you take it very
the
seriously.
reporters made themselves look like idiots because 90% of us in America thought that Kyle Rittenhouse shot and killed black people.
Yes.
Because that's what was reported. But once we got to trial, we found out that these were all white guys with criminal records already.
Well, you didn't follow this as nearly as close as I have. I've been on top of this since it happened. But not much has happened. So I've just been following the little pieces that come out, and it wasn't enough for us to talk about at the time. The video footage has been out forever.
Yeah, but the prosecution only used standard definition.
No, you're talking about the FBI. That's the FBI video.
I'm talking about the video footage that the people on the ground took. There's like 1,000 hours of video footage people took on their cell phones from different angles. Then there was an actual reporter on the ground who released all of it.
Another issue that I think worked in his favor is if it would have been African Americans that he shot at and there was no video footage, he'd be looking at life in prison right now.
But to his credit, I'll tell you what, star people in the whole thing were the prosecution witnesses. How good was it watching those prosecutors face slap themselves, palm themselves in the face and say, "You dickheads"? How good is that?
I laughed so hard when he said, and then my bicep was vaporized. I was like, yes, yes. He's the wife beater, so thank goodness his pimp hand ain't so strong anymore, huh?
Does he still got his arm?
Huh?
Sorry.
Does he still got his arm?
He's got his arm, yeah, but it blew his bicep apart. He's
Ah.
yeah, blew it right
He's
off
got
his
no
body.
bicep.
And the best part was he tried to say he didn't have a gun on him at the time. There's a picture, but because the way he got shot through the arm, he was incapable of letting go of the gun. It was stuck in his
Yeah.
hand. And he's like, I didn't have a gun. It's like, it's stuck in your hand right there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If that's not, and
What is 4 floors of horrors?
okay, the prosecution, I watched the trial too. The prosecution mentioned the not Game of Thrones, Call of Duty game,
Oh,
as if suggesting that video games caused actual violence. And I'm pretty sure that we've had this study done a billion times.
Oh yeah,
right?
and I remember I did hear that part of that when he was on the stand and they were trying to say, well, you played shooter
Call of
games,
Duty. Yeah.
you know, and that's where you learned how to shoot, and that's why you did what you did, you know. Yeah. Okay.
Well, his username is 4 Doors of Horrors. And I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. It's like, but the first thing I thought of, do you remember the cat house? I think it was in the Middle East, with the 4 floors of horrors.
Oh, they got those everywhere. It's not just in the Middle East.
Well, I don't know. Well, I've only been to one country that had it. Granted, I never went out seeking out cat houses, but I remember it was like so famous when we got there. Like, watch out, you know, this is.
Well,
like,
you don't want to see the lions?
They're like there's like 80 hookers that live in this place. Like, holy shit, that's a lot of hookers.
Germany's got the red light district in Germany's got one of the 4 floors of horrors. Let me tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
Turkey? No, I don't remember. I don't know. I've been to a couple places where there are a lot. Spain had a lot of horse, from what I understand, but I was on duty the one day we were in port. That sucked. I didn't get to see Spain, but oh well. But yeah, I don't know. The 4 Doors of Horrors made me think of the famous whore houses I've been to. Have been actually called. Well, I've been around. That actually called 4 Floors of Horrors.
And do we really think that the ADA that was prosecuting this thing was trying to like throw the case, you know, because of some of the stupid questions he asked and the things he did?
It seemed like he was trying to get this thrown out so he could make it look like it wasn't his fault that he lost.
That was one case that you'd hate be a prosecutor in, honestly. Like the Binger and his mate, they absolutely made themselves look total bingers, eh? But the thing is, I could not believe, like, when you go in a trial, it's pretty much here in Australia. You set it up with the judge or the magistrate, whatever you want to call the person running the show, what you can and what you can't do. The rules are set straight down the line.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and they went over all that.
And for him to brazenly sit there and trying to manipulate the court and the jury.
Yeah, like, why can't I call them victims? The judge like, no, you can call him an arsonist.
Exactly right. And I'm watching it and I'm sitting there thinking, how stupid are you? Mate, this is so stupid. Like, and being the defense lawyers sitting there, you could see the frustration in their faces. Like, you think this Binger knows what's going on.
Well, and he flat out asked Rittenhouse why he decided not to answer questions to the police when he was taken into custody. I was like, that's like the first thing they tell you when you're taken into custody.
Yeah,
You see
silent in the U.S.
You see it in every TV show, though. You got a right to remain silent. Everything you say can be used.
It doesn't exactly happen the way it doesn't happen exactly the way it does on the TV shows, but it's at some point you are advised of your rights.
Yeah, everybody knows about the Miranda rights, you know, because of what happened 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah, Miranda, and he didn't realize that he could keep his mouth shut. He didn't know the rules basically, and he went to prison forever. So the Supreme Court's like, hey, by the way, we gotta read people their basic rights so they understand they can go get someone who's better at law than them, you know.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of guys on Facebook at the moment. They're called the Pot Brothers in Law, and they're lawyers. And you see them sitting there, they're rolling up joints and they're smoking joints. And they go, "What do you do when you get pulled over?"
Eat it.
Shut the F up. You shut the F up.
Yeah.
What happens to an officer asks you, what's going on with your day? He goes, I'm not going to discuss my day. You know,
Yeah.
like, just shut up. I'd say nothing.
It was 2 or 3 months ago, Brian. You were surprised when I said it, when I said never ever talk to the police.
Yeah.
And it was exactly that. It was because being nice to a cop is the best that can happen is nothing.
Right.
The worst that could happen is he might go, hey, I remember this guy who waved at me and said, good morning, officer, 5 minutes before the bomb went off, as if he was trying to make it seem, you know what I mean? You might just stick out being a nice guy or something versus, be polite.
Yeah.
But exactly that. It's like never just, you're stupid to give him any reason to think anything about you.
Right.
They tell you
And
straight up, don't they? Anything you say, can
yeah,
and will be.
exactly that. Anything you say can and will be. So even saying good morning, officer might be enough. It made you stick out, and I can use that against you because you said that shit. Right? Exactly. It's like, well, and I've even been saying I'm going along to defund the police thing. In terms of, I say we abolish police in the United States and go back to sheriffs. Give the sheriff's department, the county, more authority, because the sheriff is an elected position. And if we don't like what they're doing, we can vote them out of office. I like that idea better. I like any government, I think, should be directly accountable to the people, especially the enforcing arm of the government, you know?
And there have been some riots since the verdict came out
Really?
in Portland.
Yeah, in Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Riot capital central.
There's anything to burn in Portland left?
Apparently there is. They found
Oh,
something.
shit.
They
Garbage bin or
smashed some
something, wasn't it?
windows.
One garbage bin left or something.
Uh,
They forgot to put out in collection night or something. There's only one of them left.
yeah, sorry, I was reading something else and I completely missed what just happened. I apologize. I'm usually better about this. Pardon me. I was just looking at the one of these articles in here. I even said bury the headline. Because the title of the article is Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Jury concludes third day of deliberations without a verdict.
Right.
In the fourth paragraph, it mentions how the judge had to kick MSNBC out of the courtroom for following a jury bus and possible juror tampering after he'd already warned someone about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What a binger.
What a banger.
I doubt Bingham had anything to do with that. But
It's a new terminology, mate. Giving to people like that.
well, I think the jury had some giant balls to come back with a not guilty verdict, honestly. Like
Yeah,
Well,
they
it took
you
like
know
4
that
days to
they're
find them
worried
out.
about being,
having the houses
their
burned down.
information being put out there, and they're being like their house is being firebombed and all kinds of crazy stuff.
I mean, they were threatening riots in front of the courthouse, and they geez Louise.
I think what helps too is the winter months. It's not
But
summer
the
month
weather
over here.
actually is pretty mild today or yesterday in Wisconsin. So
Mm.
for Wisconsin this time of year.
I actually said
Yeah,
the
but,
same thing. Everyone's like, oh, everyone's gonna riot. I was like, no, it's too cold. Rioters are sissies. They do not go out in the cold. they really
Yeah.
don't.
So what's the setup with your jury system over there? Do they lock them up like throughout the whole duration of the
They're
of the
Yeah.
cases,
not
or do
locked
they
up.
send home?
They usually get a hotel room,
Sequester.
and they're
Yeah.
separated from the rest of the population.
Yep.
Now, actually, they
Well,
did not sequester this jury. Usually they do. These guys
No.
are allowed to
I
talk to each
thought
other.
I thought that was weird that they didn't sequester the jury.
I did too.
But it was
Uh,
18
I did hear though
jury.
that bricks have been put around in different places in Kenosha, standing by for riots.
Well, what the fuck? If he had done this in the first place, none of this shit would have happened. If National Guard had been there, had the police been doing their damn job, Kyle Rittenhouse wouldn't have been there.
But the police were told to stand down.
By the way, I'd like to-
The only thing that surprised me was like they had like and I thought it was 12 originally, but there's 18 juries and then you pick like the way they do over there. You pick him randomly the names out of 18. You pick 12 out of them, and that's your jury. They're gonna decide your fate.
I think,
That was like,
yeah, I think
um,
there's different ways that they do it in Wisconsin. I think that was an
yeah.
option they had. I know here in Massachusetts, a jury system, both sides get to dismiss and accept jurors
Yeah.
Oh,
they do that
okay.
here in Virginia, too.
with questioning. But the first time I was selected for jury duty, they asked me, you had to fill out this form. And I was like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm in school for law enforcement. I'm very excited to be part of the system. And they're like, go home. I was like, what?
We got to pick a perp out straight away.
Yeah, I was like, oh. Yeah, then I've got 4 jury duty notices in my life.
Really?
I got several when I was on active duty for Michigan. It's like, I'm on active duty, can't really show up.
I did.
I've gotten one since I retired, and I called every week, see if I was going to get called up, and they never called me up to show up. So
Yeah, the wife's got a form right here that she just got in the mail. She's got called for jury duty next week, which remind me, I'm taking the days off of work. And this is her first time. I was like, I've been summoned 4 times. Are you kidding me? Like, all right, well, that tells me it is actually random. So I guess that makes it a little more fair, but it still sucks because they only take your name out of the list for like a year after you've been selected.
Oh, okay. So
And then you go back in the population, which, all right, I mean, like, it just made me realize how old I was. But by the way, could you imagine not just being worried about them burning your house down, but being on that jury when the prosecutor put his finger on the trigger of an AR-15 and pointed it at them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, mate, I still look. I took a gasp.
I don't know about you guys, but I would have hit the deck for real.
Yeah.
And I probably would have tackled whoever was right next to me to protect them too.
Pull a Baldwin.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, you
Isn't it all funny?
always assume a
There's
gun
a
is
loaded
loaded,
gun.
right?
Yeah. Definitely.
But you can see he never used a gun before.
Yeah,
You
it's
look at
people
the
saying,
picture.
"Oh, wasn't
That's
loaded."
no excuse. You don't do it.
Well, yeah, the argument I heard a lot of people trying to make, saying that it wasn't loaded and they removed the firing pin, and all I said was, "That's what the McCloskeys did." And remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The McCloskeys
they
were
were
actually
there
there for
too.
the verdict.
Yeah, they were there.
Yeah,
I
as
was like, who's that guy? Everybody was taking pictures of the guy. Like, who's that guy? Like,
they,
like everybody's surrounding him and stuff. But it took a while. Like, oh shit, that's McCloskey.
Yeah, if anyone who doesn't remember this story, who might, by the way, I got shitty viewership last week. 3-hour show is hard to move,
Mm.
Anyone doesn't remember the McCloskey case was a whole bunch of rioters where they broke into a gated community and were threatening these people. So they came out. The husband had a loaded rifle, correct? An actual proper rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
15.
And his wife had a handgun, which had the fire pin removed because they were both lawyers and it was used in a case. But she pointed it at people.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we all, not sure how much Ron knows about gun safety and gun rules. Not picking on you, Ron, there, but you guys don't exactly have the same gun rules we do.
No, I know a fair bit about it, mate. But the thing is, get back to McCloskey's. I just want to verify one thing with you. Where they lived, yeah, they had to go down a laneway sort of thing, didn't they? Didn't they have to go through gates or
Yeah.
something to get to
They-
their house?
They broke down
So
a
they
big
all-
giant gate into the gated community.
So, yeah, so they've actually gone detour down to
They're already
uh,
trespassing at this
private
point.
area. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're already trespassing. Just being there, they're trespassing. Plus destruction of property just to get in this place.
I thought you
And
couldn't protect property with a gun.
you can't. Well, yeah, but you don't point it at someone until it's absolutely necessary, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what is like. You can stand there with your rifle, and people will see it. Typically speaking, people see you standing there with a rifle and don't fuck with you. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what? I'll go hit the other house.
That's all you lied on.
Well, you hear a lot of people saying like, "Oh, how often are guns really used in home defense?" It's like the sheer fact that you're standing there holding one is what makes most of the difference. You usually don't have to fire the thing. Like you come into someone's house, they point a gun at you, you leave, right?
Uh-huh.
The dude's gonna let me leave. I'm gonna go home. That's how most of these cases with guns being good happen, anyways. Like someone's getting beaten up, they draw their gun, and then it's over with. No one has to get killed. Now, granted, if I draw a firearm and then you punch me in the mouth, now you're clearly trying to kill me, right?
Mhm.
Just like
Hey,
if you
so
hit me
who
in the head with a
just drop kick
skateboard.
you? Jump kick, man.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I thought at first that this drop kick man, jump kick man, or whatever, was a federal agent. I really did. I thought it was just like the what's her name there? The Chicago
FBI.
mayor kidnapping.
Oh.
Remember that?
Oh, okay.
And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like 2/3 of the people involved are federal agents.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought this was what the jump kick man was because the FBI said they had footage, but they couldn't, for whatever reason, it disappeared or whatever. Or the HD one they didn't have. And this is when I thought he was a federal agent because I thought in an HD version, whatever identification he had would glow under the HD. And I know this sounds like some weird, crazy theory, but they actually do that. So the drone that's overhead can tell who's a federal agent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I thought. That's why, why we never found out who this guy was. But this dude just ran and jump kicked Rittenhouse in the face. And the kid didn't shoot him. I would have
seen
shot
that.
him.
Didn't he come in on the side, mate? And because there's a picture of that guy with a skateboard coming up behind him.
He shot the guy with the skateboard.
Yeah, because
That man
he
died.
Actually,
Yeah, he died. I believe he got
that
one round to the chest.
Oh wow.
yeah.
Rittenhouse. Rosenbaum, I believe, got
Rosenbaum.
3 or 4 to the chest. He was the first one to attack him. And then you had Grosskreutz, the guy who had his bicep blown off, who tried to take Rittenhouse's rifle from him. No, he don't.
Yeah.
Sorry, he was the one who tried to shoot him. Rosenbaum tried to take his rifle.
Yeah, Rosenbaum tried to take his rifle. Yeah.
And here you go. He had his hand on the barrel when it was fired because his hand was burned from it. Why didn't they take all sorts of DNA evidence? Why didn't they do all sorts of crazy stuff? Because the prosecution actually said that he wasn't even within arm's reach. He was holding the barrel of the rifle when it was fired. And there's actually a thing called dual possession. As soon as he put his hands on that rifle, he was also armed, according to the law. And what are you going to do taking someone's rifle away from them?
Yeah, look, this case is set up, mate. And the thing is, I felt for that young guy, that Rittenhouse. Like, imagine what he had to go through, and his mum, like the shit they had to go through, and the poor guy just went there to do the right thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. And now that this is done and over with, and the kid's been acquitted, now I'm going to say, where the fuck were this kid's parents? What the hell were they doing letting him do this shit? Don't get me wrong. He was within his rights and all that shit. But what were they doing letting a 17-year-old son walk around in a riot with a fucking rifle and fire extinguisher? For real.
Do they know his mom?
Was he still living at home?
Well, his mom, I think, but his dad lived in Kenosha.
I don't know. If I found out my kid was doing that, I'd be furious and I'd be so disappointed in myself because
I'll ask you a question, mate.
Well, yeah, stay out of the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing at 17?
I wasn't quelling riots.
I was out and about, mate. My parents didn't know where I was 24/7.
My parents didn't always know where I was, but they knew that I wasn't. My camera's not in focus. They knew I wasn't, carrying around a rifle in the city and cleaning graffiti up.
No, you were just carrying a sword.
Actually, Massachusetts had stupid rules about carrying a bladed weapon in this state.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
You know,
actually, there's something about Massachusetts I wanted to bring up today.
Your camera's out of focus.
I know, and I don't know how to fix it.
Okay.
wipe it down.
Yeah, that might be what it is.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
so
Oh, that was
we
what
can
it was.
move
That was
on
a
to a different
fingerprint.
topic now if you're ready.
Huh?
Different topic.
smallpox. Found in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I heard about this like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I heard about this just this week, actually.
Well, and I thought maybe it's, I don't know, whatever. And then nothing else came of it. So I was
I
like,
got
all right.
1 year left of my smallpox vaccination, so
What?
I got
Oh.
for the military.
You actually got a small. Did we get
We got
smallpox? I don't
the
think I got a smallpox
vaccination.
vaccine. Huh?
You didn't get stabbed. Like when you get smallpox, you get stabbed like 16 times in the arm.
Well, no,
Smallpox.
that big scar I talked about was like 15 different shots. It was a whole bunch
No,
of
no,
them
no,
at
no,
once with
no.
the
I
air
got
gun.
smallpox.
The smallpox is a bunch of little pinpricks, you know.
Yeah.
On your
Why
arm.
would you guys get smallpox vaccines?
Because I had to be in the Middle East, so it's part of
So,
the requirement.
so they thought people had vials of smallpox?
Oh no, no, no. You talk about the bile?
Oh no, smallpox doesn't exist in nature anymore. We've eradicated it.
No, in the
It's
United
back
States
now.
probably, but when you go to the Middle East, it's a requirement.
I've been to the Middle East, so I must have had these shots. I don't remember getting them. No, I did.
Like-
We did a whole med cruise and
You-
defended
you-
Israel
you-
on the Vela Gulf.
It should get like a blister up in your arm. So if you remember that part, you didn't get a
No,
smallpox.
but they gave me so many shots in the service, and
No,
didn't-
no, no. Yeah, this is after boot camp. Like I had to go to the Middle East. It's one of the requirements. Get a smallpox shot.
Actually, the one I remember most is yellow fever.
Oh,
That sucker
that.
hurt for days.
yeah,
I don't remember. No,
I
I never had that one.
I did.
Mm.
remember
You
being
had it, you
disappointed when I found out
remember
these
it.
vaccines wore off. I was like, oh, what? What? I thought
Yeah,
it was yellow
smallpox.
fever now.
I'm still
The
holding
lady
out on
that-
the COVID vaccine. You know, I don't have it yet.
Yeah.
Like the lady that put the smallpox in my arm, she had to get it every 10 years. I'm like, what? Because she's handling that thing.
Yeah, I guess. But anyway, yeah, they found some vials of smallpox in Philadelphia at a Merck lab. Which what bothers me about this the most is smallpox kills about 30% of people it infects.
Mhm.
I heard the article I heard said it was outside of DC that they found these vials.
That maybe was the one I was thinking that I read like 3 weeks ago. Well, this happened. This also happened.
Because when
like
as soon as
15
I
years
hear
ago.
outside of DC, I'm thinking Fort Detrick,
Uh,
where we do all the crazy drug chemical testing as it is. You know.
Investigation. Well, this one is Philadelphia, and I think maybe you're right because I remember thinking DC before, and that might be the one I had read like a week ago. If that's the case, then I want to know what the
They
hell.
talked about it on one of the No Agenda shows recently. So
Well, it's such a deadly disease, like actually deadly disease, that there's only two
Yeah.
places on the world, the entire
they're
planet,
allowed to have it stored.
that are trusted to
And
actually keep it. Yes.
Philadelphia ain't one of them. You know?
No.
They don't have,
There's
they
a
don't
se-
have a level. They don't have the high enough containment level to have
even
it.
even Wuhan does not have this stuff.
Right.
China is known for having all sorts of crazy high security medical labs and stuff.
Yeah, see how that works.
Yeah. Well, Moscow, Russia has samples, and Atlanta, Georgia have
Exactly.
samples
Yeah. That's
just
the
in-
article I heard about.
just to make in case something crazy happens, we have it so we can come
Make a
up so we
vaccine.
can make more vaccine, basically. You know? And I'm a little surprised that hasn't become like disease. I'm surprised disease hasn't become the weapon of choice of terrorists yet.
Oh, it is, mate.
Mm.
It's just that
Huh?
nothing's come up with it. It has. It's like you look at all the weaponry throughout the year and that all these bloody Middle East dictators and all that sort of stuff. Even the Chinese, even the Russians have used it. Chemical warfare. Chemical warfare went back all the way back into World War One.
Well, I was just saying, we
Germans
all use chemical warfare in World War One.
It's been around, mate. It's been around since forever. When they used to fire bloody dead cows into castles.
Well, chemical and biological warfare are different, though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, completely. Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, all
It's
you
like-
need to do is infect someone with Ebola. That's easy enough to find because this outbreaks every 5 or 6 years. Get someone infected, put them on an airplane, have them bounce from Boston to New York to London to Sydney. You know what I mean? And hit all the Western pillars.
Yeah.
It's just amazing that no one has done
That
this
was
yet.
actually a plot, a storyline on Homeland.
Oh, there you go. But I was surprised this hasn't happened yet. Instead, how much
They-
work did
they
it take for
sent-
them to?
They sent a deadly virus over to Mecca during Mecca, expecting everybody, the people that go to Mecca, to spread it out around the world when they came back from their journey to Mecca.
I don't know what I just did. I clicked the chats thing.
Mhm.
I had to restart. That's all it was on there.
I know, but I'm afraid to close the chats thing now because it's expanded my screen. I'm afraid to close it because I might close out of this video.
I don't think that'll happen.
I don't think so
When I
either, but
restarted, I left you as host,
I saw that.
and everything. The Facebook stream's still going. My cloud recording's still going. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
By the way,
You know-
before we get too much further, I'd like to do some station identification here. We are the
Oh,
Jeffrey and
sorry.
Brian show. We drink beer. We
A
don't.
lot of it.
We're not telling you what happened. We just discussed the news. All right. Don't get your
Yep.
news from us. Don't take financial advice from us. All right.
But buy our merch.
We actually might be coming out with some here soon. I got some bucks put away. Make sure you get your thirsty
It's
shirt
not
ready.
vials. It's not
Huh?
smallpox vial, is it?
No,
it's
actually,
not. It's not.
I think we're gonna be doing thirsty shirts.
Thirsty shirts.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know we haven't talked about the thirsty shirt in
We
years.
just talked about it last week.
Well, I know.
We don't remember. We don't remember
No,
last week.
I do remember that though. Actually, that's
When I
that's why I'm
spilled beer
making
on
an
my
effort to
shirt,
talk about
I
thirsty
said it
shirts
was a
again.
thirsty shirt, you know.
Exactly. You need your thirsty shirt for the Jeffrey and Brian show.
And every night I'm drinking beer. I typically spill some beer on my shirt. You know, it's like a normal routine.
Exactly.
There's a big hole in my lip. You know.
I'm going to send you this can of beer from Australia, Jeffrey. If you can catch
Hoonies?
that fly, if you Tuies, if you can catch that fly buzzing by you with a pair of chopsticks by the end of the show, this is coming out, you mate.
I know it's driving me nuts, dude. It's just like whipping around in front of my face. Like there's this whole room and it just wants to sit. It's like, ooh, beer.
I want to see this is bringing in a pair of chopsticks and you catch it with those suckers.
Mr. Miyagi.
Like
Actually,
on the Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi. You know?
Yeah. I remember that was actually part of the video game. And you had to try to catch a thing. And I always just shut the game off at that point.
Ooh. Ray went upscale tonight. He's drinking O'Connor's.
See, I almost
El
picked up.
Guapo. He's drinking his own beer.
I almost picked up some pumpkin heads tonight.
I don't want to talk about it.
Why?
Oh,
You're not allowed to have pumpkin head anymore?
we're not. We never get it here. It's
You guys don't
they
get pumpkin?
one shipment in the area, and that's it.
Oh, that sucks. Can you order that or can they not deliver beer?
No, I don't know. I've never tried. I probably could order it.
I've never even thought about it. It's so delicious.
I know it is.
And I feel bad saying that because I make fun of quote basic white bitches for their pumpkin spice lattes. Oh, but pumpkin beer is so good. But anyway, yeah, if you're on Rumble watching us, give us a rumble, give us a like. Better than any of that shit. Share it out. It's more fun to get broader spread.
Ukraine has come out and said they're not happy with what's going on with their border neighbors, Russia.
Oh, we just
They've
jumped real
actually
good.
sped up their construction of a naval base.
Yeah, well,
Because I think they now realize that they cannot rely on us to provide
Obviously.
defense for their nation.
Even Trump didn't do crap when Russia imposed upon them. And it's right. I mean, they took over that Crimean Peninsula seaport.
That was under Obama, though.
Yeah, that was
was it-
under Obama.
Okay, my mistake. My mistake.
Crimea was screwed over with Obama was in
That's
charge.
when.
So it's been
when, Vice President Biden went over to Ukraine and said, "Fire that prosecutor, or we're going to pull billions of dollars in aid in that investigation against my son."
yeah. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. Really though,
Yeah, I got it.
what can Ukraine do to stop Russia?
Well, they don't have nukes anymore, so they can't use them.
No, they don't have nukes because they trusted us to take care of them if they just
Yeah.
disassembled their nukes. And we said, fuck you guys.
Yeah,
These
the
little tiny-
chopsticks, mate.
They're like
Is
fruit, they're like
Ukraine part
fruit
of
flies,
NATO
these little
now?
tiny things, you know?
Yeah, the chopsticks.
Is Ukraine part of NATO?
What was that, NATO?
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Are they part of NATO yet?
Oh,
I don't think they've been
jeez.
recognised yet, are they?
I don't think they are.
Well, they're not recognized as an independent nation?
No, part of NATO.
Oh. I'm not sure, honestly. Well, no, NATO. Why would Ukraine be North American Trade Organization?
Well, Poland's part of NATO.
Are they?
Yeah.
Poland. You know, the Polish people, let me rephrase that. The Slavs, the Slavic people are the most enslaved people in history. That's actually where the word slave comes from, is Slavic. That's crazy. And the Slavic people are like the whitest people on the planet. Just historically, they've been taken over and enslaved as a people over and over and over again.
That is awesome.
So I thought we were gonna go for smallpox right into the COVID stuff, but
I don't care about COVID anymore. I'm done with it.
Yeah, I think the
We're
smallpox.
gonna get to COVID when we get to Australia. It's all gonna lump together.
well, I at least want to bring
Probably.
up what happened in Austria, but we don't have to do that right now.
I want to talk about the January 6th sentencings and trials that are starting to happen now.
Yeah, we're 41 months for the shaman.
Yep, who's been in all these people have been in solitary confinement since they've been arrested. No bail, no general pop, no
plumbing.
sunshine,
Yeah,
'cause they're
no
all gonna
wa-
cause riots if they were bled out on bail.
Well, let's be fair. I mean, these guys did do something they weren't supposed to do, but for the most part,
Most
the
of
biggest
people
thing,
were in the Congress building without weapons.
well, the biggest thing that most of these guys did was trespassing on
Yeah.
public property.
And
But isn't the
that
people-
warrants 41 months in prison.
Yeah, 41 months. That they make it sound like it's less than it is by saying 41 months.
I know.
That's more than 3
4
years.
years, almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Unless he's getting time served for the amount of time he's been in jail already.
I was just gonna bring that just the time they've had him sitting in solitary confinement without a working toilet count.
Yeah, that was January, probably the end of January. So that's another 8 months. So basically, we're looking at 4 years in prison.
Jeez Louise,
Do you
that
think the
sucks.
majority of the harshness of their penalties coming from the Democratic Party? The push from the Democrats to have for this rubbish to carry
Well,
on?
they're all worried about how these people were trying to just overturn the Democratic elected people, that
I don't trust the
only
federal government.
Congress felt threatened for their lives, and like,
I don't trust the federal government. I don't trust what they do. I don't trust state government either, but I think they're less sneaky I think the lower level you have government on, the better. If Kyle Rittenhouse is tried in a federal court, he would have been convicted, and none of us would have been able to see any of the trial because we don't publish federal trials, do we?
No,
No cameras in federal courtrooms.
not in the Supreme Court either.
Yeah. And I think this is a big deal. It's supposed to be a public trial, right? That's actually part of the what was that? Your Fourth Amendment rights? You have a right to a public trial, or is that fifth? With a jury, your peers, and a speedy trial. Yeah.
So what's happened to the guy who shot that female? That
A
ex
chick.
service lady.
Huh?
In the January 6 riots, the chick who got shot.
Oh, he was a
Nothing.
cop.
Absolutely nothing. He
Nothing.
was a cop, and it was a justified shooting with no investigation.
That's how they deemed it. Ashley Babbitt, a United States Air Force veteran, shot through the
That's
throat.
Yeah.
The only person that was actually killed by a shooting.
The only
on
person
January
killed
6th.
at January 6th insurrection
Yes.
was killed by the police.
And that
Yeah.
officer who died actually had a heart attack, didn't he? It had
The
nothing to do
other
with
ones had strokes or heart attacks and
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
But most of this stuff happened days later that they're attributing to it,
Yeah.
which seems even weirder. It's like, oh, he had a heart attack or a stroke 3 days later. And then they were saying this one cop got hit in the head with a fire extinguisher, and the dude's wife was like, that did not happen. Stop saying this. You know what I mean? It's like you're not letting him rest in peace. You know?
I think you got to get the red wave going, mate. I think you need a JAP leader there again and clean out that FBI. That FBI needs a major shake-up.
Trump tried it and he failed miserably. So
Well, yeah.
the FBI is so ingrained in politics now, and
The
they're so
FBI was-
politicized, it's next to impossible to do.
The FBI was founded by someone who kept dirt on people, blackmail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hoover. That's how he started the FBI.
Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover.
You sure? J. Edgar was the president. Herbert Hoover, I thought, was FBI.
J.
I
Edgar.
don't know.
J. Edgar
They're
Hoover.
very good.
Yeah, but yeah, and is it? FDR was president at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's the one who founded the FBI. And he's like, he's got so much shit on me, you know?
But the thing is, you look at everything that's going on, like even this Project Veritas, getting back to that, how the hell do the New York Times, that have been sued by Project Veritas, get the information from the FBI
Within 20 minutes.
within 20, exactly, just to prove, and now they've got all the information with what's going on between James O'Keefe and his lawyers. Mate,
Yeah.
this has got to be one of the biggest scandals that has never come to light yet.
And no one's going to give a shit because for some reason, people think Project Veritas is making stuff up. But they are the best
Wow.
investigative journalist team I've seen on the planet. Now, I'm sure there might be better somewhere, but this is what I see. You know what I mean?
Well, they got their start with Breitbart, and he
Oh,
passed
yeah.
away. So
And I don't trust Breitbart either, but well, I say that, but I use Breitbart as a source often.
Now, I look, honestly, as an outsider looking in, I can't believe how a federal jurisdiction or the FBI could go and raid somebody, right? Then pass on information, can then get passed on to a major media outlet in America, in the world.
And I
the New York
can't,
Times.
and I can't even blame the New York Times for publishing it because, like, for real, you get that, you publish it, right? Like that's what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
But yeah, like this had to be set up in advance. Like, we're gonna contact these guys, they're gonna be ready to publish it. It's like this was in minutes
Right.
of it happening.
The point I'm trying to make, the conflict of interest between Project Veritas and the New York Times.
Yeah.
They're being sued. They're being sued. They'll lose heaps if they lose this. They can't afford to lose this case in New York
Well,
Times.
James O'Keefe of Project Veritas has a flawless record suing people, and he sued
Yeah.
a lot of people over this. Remember that whole child abortion thing? And they said they were selling baby parts.
Yep.
That was this company that published that stuff, and people say, "Oh, it's cut, it's spliced," and he got defamed. He took the people. He took these news outlets to court and sued them because they said that he was, modifying the footage.
Right.
He's never lost a lawsuit.
Well, mate, you look what he's done during the election as well, too. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
That
no.
election, the fake ballots, the postal mail, that guy got caught out with it. They exposed it. Project Veritas exposed it. You look what they did with the visor scientists. They got them out on record, like took them out for a meal, and look, they spilled their guts. Pretty woman
Yeah.
there, spilling their guts to her.
Everybody, yeah. Oh, and I love it. They said, "Oh, these are shady tactics." They had a pretty girl go out and get a drink with a guy, and he told her about how big his dick was, basically. Because he's like, "Oh, I know this and this." Basically, he's saying, "No, this is how big my dick is," right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's like, no, you're the dude that's in charge of your shit that has all the secrets. A freaking martini and a pretty girl got him to spill his guts.
You might need another person in charge, Thank God he doesn't have real classified information on in the military.
But the thing I like about Project Veritas, they consult with their solicitors before they even post anything.
You're
Before
muted.
they,
I say, I wonder that's what happened to the congressman who was banging that Chinese girl.
That got brought up
Yeah.
this week.
Lauren Bobbitt, give it to him.
Yeah.
I loved it.
We are getting to her tonight. Don't worry. We are gonna Brian, we might need to
She's-
screen share and play the audio through that
Aswell.
video.
What's his name? Aswell, Farwell. Can I
I
think
thought it
of
was
his name?
Sewell. So
The congressman.
yeah, that was banging the mingling or whatever.
Bang, bang, bang.
Kim or whatever. It was super like obvious stereotypical like Chinese name too, like Ding Dong
Yeah.
or Wing Ding or something. You know what I mean?
And this pretty girl, I mean, the guy's not ugly, but dude, she was way out of his caliber for him. It's like,
Well, didn't Maxine Waters have a Chinese spy driving her car for years?
oh yeah.
Oh,
No, you
yeah.
talking about Feinstein.
It was Feinstein, not Waters.
Feinstein, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
even better. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Feinstein has way more.
The
Clearance.
senator of California.
California.
Fuck.
She's also right now. She's in charge of the Senate, isn't she? Is she the whatever they call the leader of the whatever?
No, Chuck Schumer.
Not Schumer.
Yeah. The ambulance chaser.
I've never seen oh shit, what's her name? Never mind. No, I was gonna
You know
make
how
a
they
joke.
use a name to make it like, oh, I'm part of the group. Chuck Schumer, his actually probably name is Charles something. But like, oh, just Chuck, call me Chuck. Call me Chuck.
Calling Binger.
Binger.
Hey, what about old Pencil Neck? Didn't he cop it this week? Did you see the thing with the view on that?
The pencil dick.
Pencil Neck.
Oh,
Adam Schiff.
Oh, pencil
Adam
neck. Chip, Alan Schiff.
yeah,
Adam
Schiff was the
Schiff.
one banging the spy, right?
No, man.
He
Swalwell.
had a view,
Other-
and he thought
Swalwell.
he was going to get softball questions, and they had a guest host on there that asked some hard hitting questions on the View.
On the View.
Yeah,
it
they
was
got a
awesome,
car-
mate.
I
yeah.
didn't see this. Now, don't get me
Oh,
wrong.
dude, you need to see it.
I don't watch the View, but that
Well,
usually
who
comes across,
does?
No,
that
it was
usually
just a
comes across my
highlight.
feed,
It was
you
a
know?
highlight.
It was beautiful, mate. He was.
Yeah,
he
He was like, "Oh, we lost all credibilities," but they're like, "No, actually, we lost credibility."
Oh yeah, no,
We-
just yeah. He's like, does that mean that this didn't? He goes, no, this, yeah. And then she goes, no, just your credibility.
yeah, it's the
I
credibility.
didn't realize that was on the View.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was beautiful.
Yeah. Schiff was the one who pushed. Yeah, he was pushing the Russian collusion thing, right?
Oh yeah.
The line, the
Swalwell
big
is the one
line.
that banging the Chinese girl.
There you go, Solwell.
He's the chairman of the judicial committee in the House.
Not for long. Not
Yeah.
for long. That Lauren Bobbitt, I'll tell you what, she's up the same class as Jacqueline Smith, Linda Carter to me now.
Yeah, and then they cut her off. Okay, she did run out of time. You only get so much time. But Bride, do you happen to have that queued up to be able to share
Uh,
the actual like the video of her like going off about You know, we have people fucking Chinese
yeah.
spies and
Do we have it on the list?
oh, it's in there somewhere, but I don't even know where.
I'd love to see it, lads. I'd love to see it again. I think I saved it somewhere.
Yeah, I got the Paul Gosser stuff.
Yeah, but I don't see Bobbert on here anywhere.
Yeah, all right, that sucks. I thought she was in here somewhere. But it was pretty freaking hilarious.
Let me see what I can find here.
Yeah, maybe I can find it in a hurry. Well, all right. Well, while Brian's looking this up, let's talk about this Paul Gosser thing. He edited a little video from some popular anime thing. And there's this little tiny guy who like flies up with his katana sword and kills the giant monster. Paul Gosser is like 107 years old. And he put his face on the little tiny guy and put AOC on the big monster.
Clash of the Titans.
And he lost his chairmanship over that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're joking.
He lost his committee chair, his committee position.
And AOC saying this is a serious
And,
death threat.
and
Are you kidding
AOC and the person, that lady from Minnesota, said so much worse, but they're Democrats, so it's okay for them to talk like that.
Maxine Waters told
Oh,
you to
yeah,
go
told
find
us
Trump
that.
supporters at the gas stations, at the convenience stores, and the grocery stores, and get in their face and tell them that they're not welcome. That's actually telling people to get in people's faces versus a funny little cartoon meme. Now, granted, we might expect more from our quote leaders. I hate using that term because then they're not fucking leaders. They're supposed to represent us, not lead us, right? Or am I the only one who feels that way?
You're right.
I don't need to be told how to eat dinner, or you know what I mean, how to live life. I need you to represent me in the public discussion, so that I get a fair shake. I think that's the whole freaking point. I thought, but no one seems to agree with me when I say this. It's like, no, these people aren't supposed to be making decisions. And granted, they technically do, but they're supposed to make decisions based upon what the constituents want. My pocket's vibrating again.
Your phone.
Yeah,
You should
Wonder
feed it
if-
once in a while.
yeah. Nobody talks to me, so I never have to. It's never a text message. It's usually a news update. Oh, look at that. There she is.
Got it. There you go. What we got?
Oh,
Yep,
there's no
nobody.
sound though.
No
Oh,
sound.
yeah, there you go.
Rewind.
Nope, that didn't do it. That sucks even more. So if I want to do this in the future, I'm gonna have to like set.
There we go.
Yeah, that's not working so great. Anyway, she's talking about. I keep trying to. That's unfortunate. You got the video to play, but couldn't get the sound to come out good. Yeah, she was going off about how Ilhan Omar. Well, she didn't say Ilhan Omar, but she was definitely referring to her when she was talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
her, how she gave millions of dollars to her husband through campaign financing. She's like,
Yeah.
no, not the one, not her brother husband, the other one. I was like, oh my god.
Mate,
And it's
played
like,
two
we had-
fantasies as you.
yeah,
When I
we
was
had-
younger, my fantasies used to be Linda Carter and Jacqueline Smith from Charlie's Angels. Mate,
I just
that
think it's
Lauren
awesome.
Bobbitt-
She actually didn't. She made it a point to not say their names. I like that.
Yeah.
I think
Dude,
that's
did
good.
you saw her dress?
Yeah, I did see it, mate.
Yeah,
But
see,
you-
you know how AOC came out with the tax and rich dress. She came out with a red dress, say, "Let's go, Brandon."
No, she did.
Yes, she did.
She was
So
getting
she's just trying to make-
sprayed out all night.
Well, hey, I don't know why the Democrats ever thought the socialists and the progressives and the communists were going to actually align with them. And I don't think they really thought they were going to. I think they realized they could use them for votes and then completely ignore what they wanted. And the problem is AOC is a stupid kid.
Dude, how the hell she got a college degree? Like
In economics.
in economics, yeah, and you're a fucking communist.
Okay. Anyone who went to BU and got an economics degree, demand your money back. Boston University, get your money back. You got ripped off. Someone with a bachelor's in economics.
You bring this up every time we mention AOC.
Anyone who's not a fucking moron knows that socialism doesn't work. And not only that, anyone who's actually read the Socialist Manifesto by Lenin knows, because it says right in it, the ultimate goal of socialism is to lead to communism.
All right, since we moved into economy,
Fuck the commies.
let's talk about Jen Psaki, who's no economist, predicting higher inflation. It's not happening. It's not real here in the US.
Oh yeah.
Docky, I love that guy. He's owning her at every press conference now.
Who?
The Fox
The
guy.
Fox News new guy.
Oh, they got a new guy?
No,
He's owning
Josie.
Oh, Ducey.
Ducey, that's
Yeah.
it. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry about
Peter Ducey,
pronunciation.
right?
Yeah, he's owning her big time.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious sometimes. Like, man.
She's been a real, to use an Australian term here, she's been a real cunt to him.
Oh, mate, yeah. See, we call our best mates cunts. So, like,
Well, yeah, no, that's actually a really nasty word here.
just
Like a
we use
really
it.
nasty word you don't use.
We call our lollipop ladies cunts.
Lollipop ladies go.
The chicks who help the kids across the street, school with the signs.
Oh, I thought it was some kind of weird hooker.
Nah, no. Get off the fourth floor, mate.
He's on the fifth floor
Lollipop.
right now.
Yeah. Lollipop girls. You mean
But
like a crossing
Jen
guard.
Psaki's come out and said that the Republicans are using inflation against Biden, and the spending bill will help.
Yeah, okay. Sounds smart.
So we've already got the first spending bill approved for 1.5 trillion, not going to affect inflation at all. And now their big campaign slogan for the Build Back Better plan, it's paid for already, and nothing will happen with inflation there either.
Yeah.
CBO
yeah.
came out and said otherwise, but all of a sudden CBO is now a Republican organization that you can't be believed.
Yeah.
First of all, I learned about inflation with DuckTales. I don't know if you guys ever seen the episode of inflation and the coins. I was like, oh shit, that's bad, you know. And I was like 9 years old probably by the time. Printing money, it doesn't work. We don't even print money no more.
Look at
Everything's
the-
computerized.
Look at the
digital.
hyperinflation crisis of Zimbabwe.
The $1 trillion bill.
$100
Zimbabwe,
trillion bill.
Germany, Venezuela, Argentina.
Argentina,
never-
yeah, Venezuela especially. But
Yeah, Venezuela
actually,
especially.
I'm getting pissed. I need to find this $100 trillion bill.
You lost it?
I have it
How
somewhere
do
in
you lose
storage.
$1 trillion, dude?
Huh?
That's worth some
How you
real
lose
money
$1 trillion?
nowadays.
No,
You need to-
$100 trillion.
$100 trillion?
That's
In
probably
a
worth
one
$5
bill.
bucks.
How
It
you
cost
lose
me-
$100 trillion?
It cost me
We
about
voted
$6
Democratic
American.
Yeah, he's a Democrat. He must be. Pork to the thing.
Yeah, well, it cost me
Voted
about $6
Democratic
American.
president, mate. That's how you lose it.
No, you can still get. Go ahead, and look it up right now. You could find $100 trillion Zimbabwe bill
Yeah, you
online
can
to
buy-
buy. No, they're at least
you
$200 now.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
It went up in value.
Well,
You gotta
people
find
want
that
them
shit.
now. Like this is ridiculous. They were worthless. $100 trillion would buy you a fucking pack of gum at that point. That's why you had them in bills like they were fucking ones, you know? But yeah, I need to find this thing because it's worth at least $200, depending on the year and everything. And also what's the serial numbers, it might be worth like up to like $900. I'll sell
Dude, I
that thing.
really-
Are you kidding me?
I met a guy from
$900, that'll pay
Venezuela.
for our show. You can be a sponsor of the show.
You can put in the background $100 billion, $1 trillion.
Yeah, you put it in a frame. My first $100
Yeah.
trillion ever made.
we can boost our posts on Facebook and get other people listening.
Oh yeah, I tried to do that because we did a really cool whatever thing on our Facebook page, and I tried that. I was like, I'm gonna boost this one. It's like I get this $5 discount. It's only $14 to do whatever. I was like, okay, I'll spend $9 to see for a month or whatever. And they said there were like 900 extra people to see it. As soon as I tried that shit, it got shut down. Like, no, you can't do any of this crap. And then they made me verify who I was. I was like, okay, maybe it's to make sure someone's not stealing from me. And I verified it. And they said I might hear back in a month or two. I was like, are you kidding me? I am putting money in a jar though. I put 10 to 20 bucks a week into a pill jar.
How big's the jar?
Enormous.
How much pill do you need?
Some of the medication I take daily. But I'm hoping to make t-shirts out of it. And Ron, I'm gonna need your address because once I print and your size, I'm gonna send you a shirt and maybe a couple for your buddies.
Oh, I love it, mate. Yeah, I'll send you
Well-
some beer when you catch that fly.
Yeah, just wear it every now and then. Get our name out there. And when people say,
Oh,
"What the
well,
fuck's a
mate.
thirsty shirt?" explain it to them. They'll laugh their ass off.
Yeah, you should be like, hey, put some money in a pill jar.
Actually, you should have that on the back of it, mate, for the money in the pill jar.
The money in the pill jar. Well, I was thinking this is my thirsty shirt that on the back, just the name of the show, but all right.
You should
I
put, like,
haven't-
a
I haven't
pill
decided
jar with
anything
your
yet.
name- The pill jar with the Jeffrey and Brian show.
That's the prescription on it. That's a good idea,
Yep.
actually.
Yeah,
And then have someone putting like a dollar bill into the jar.
yeah. Hey,
Thing
take your
is,
prescription today. Your daily, a weekly prescription.
get your weekly dose from Jeffrey and Brian.
Oh, shitty news.
I still like the booze news, but I don't want to change the name of the show just because we've been doing it for so long. But booze news is a cool name. I got to admit that.
Hey, don't say it out loud, man. Somebody else is gonna steal it from us.
You're right. They might actually. They might steal
Yeah.
right up from under us.
Yeah.
Just like we should instead of subscribe, I should have suds cribe. You know?
Mate, I'll tell you what's a big winner too, the Naked Weather Report as well.
What?
The Naked Weather Report.
That's Russian, isn't it?
Mexican as well. So isn't there? There's one in Mexico as well?
Is there? Yeah, the naked
I could
news
be wrong.
and the naked weather or whatever.
Yeah.
That
Oh, you throw that
that
on
is a
seven,
cool
mate.
idea.
About an hour and a half into the program, Sue's more drunk. They get to do the weather.
Yeah, it's cold today. Yes, it is.
Make sure you got an extended pointer.
All right. But yeah, Saki is saying that no economist is predicting a higher inflation or whatever. And then they're surprised when this crap happens. They're like, oh, no one saw this coming. It's like Janet Yellen, the Secretary of Treasury, actually told us we were going to see more inflation.
Yep.
Well, the cost of everything
love
keeps
that.
going up.
Well, the thing is, you look at what ever since Trump's left office, right?
Who?
You look at the price and Trump, ever
Oh, yeah.
since he's left office, right? The price has just skyrocketed everywhere. And it's not just in America. I
Yeah,
look at the prices.
It
out
was
here.
starting before he left office, though, because of the restrictions, to be fair.
Mate, it was to an extent. It was to an extent.
No,
Like,
it's
even in
gotten
Australia-
worse, much worse.
Even in Australia, we know, mate, because of COVID, no one's ever brought it up. We've had our super petrol, supreme petrol. We're paying over $2 a litre now. You look at that; it's probably about
Oh my God, you guys! I
Unbelievable.
keep forgetting you guys buy by the liter, not the gallon.
Yeah, so that three
everybody
liters a
does.
gallon.
Yeah, a liter is a lot
So-
smaller. And you know
It's
that
like,
Three.
there's 4 liters to
3 liters a
it's
gallon.
gallon.
no, it's 4 quarts in a gallon.
Liters
3 liters
basically
a
a
gallon.
quart.
It's pretty close. You're right.
So we're up to $2. We're normally paying about $1.50. So you times that by whatever your gallon, like liters in a gallon. So we're paying about $2.06 at the moment for a
You're
liter. of
paying more than
petrol.
I am. You've
Yeah.
always paid more than I do, though. You know that, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
not
because
always.
they're in an island. You have to import it.
We go Singapore rate. This is the funniest thing. Whatever the price of petrol is in Singapore is what hits us with. And this is just their way of saying we're going to screw you over. Australia used to we used to produce our own petroleum there at one stage. But now we don't do it anymore. We get
Yeah,
all
you guys are
imported.
really famous for your coal, though.
And
They
our iron
were.
ore.
Get the
They
best coal
were.
in the world for power plants.
And iron ore.
Oh, plenty of natural resources.
Plus-
But yeah,
plus,
you
mate,
got.
we got
I'm
the
surprised with
uranium.
that giant hunk, that giant continent you guys got over there. That you're not drilling more, honestly, to find oil.
Mate, we are like we used to. And the thing is, we sold ourselves out. We all come from the John Howard Liberal government back in the bloody late 80s, early 90s.
Mhm.
Liberals like your Republicans, mate. He sold us all out. They sold everything we owned. Everything that government owned was sold out. So then all of a sudden, well, we're paying more gas. We've got massive gas reserves here. We're paying
I'm
more for
sure.
our gas than what the rest of the world are paying that we're exporting it to them.
Yeah, yeah. We have a massive oil reserve here, actually, and let's be honest. What's happening here? The United States is going to buy the rest of the world's gas and oil and keep their own until the world is out of oil, and then we'll use ours. That's what's going to happen. Honestly, I think that's what's happening. Venezuela used to have the largest oil reserve on the planet, and then they went socialist, and all of a sudden it
Yeah, nothing.
vanished, trying to pay everyone to sit on their ass.
Because the companies that are running the oil that were making it profitable wanted to make a profit. And when they made it government owned,
And once you can't make a
they all
profit, who
bailed.
cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. If you can't make a profit, why would you take a risk and open a business if it's impossible for you to get ahead?
Exactly.
Send that
There's no
company,
reason
send
to
that
it.
company bankrupt and start another company, another shelf business.
Yeah, a speakeasy. I don't know what you guys call them, but underground, the black market. How's that? You can still do your weird shit and sell your weird shit. It's just gonna be illegal. Sorry, I got a nasty burp.
you're
And I
right.
tried to burp through a sip of beer and it's hurting.
So,
Hard nut, mate.
Yeah, that hurts
So-
every time, doesn't it?
so here's a interesting thing that they're not, the administration is really not trying to talk about. In the new spending bill, it drops a tax credit requirement that will allow illegal aliens to get dollars on tax credit, child tax credits.
That's bullshit. How can they do that? Like they're setting it up, so it's just, I don't know.
That's what they do.
I should get a plane to Mexico and just walk through Mexico into the United States.
I've said the same
probably
thing.
welcome.
I should go to Mexico and walk across the border and be given all this money
And buy some kids on your way by so you get
Yeah.
more money in the process.
so I can be separated from them.
Point me out to a few coyotes, boys.
Where are we?
They're here in the megaverse.
Yeah, the
Down to
metaverse.
McCarthy.
It's a
Hey, you've got to
trap.
speak about this, what you're talking about with all these things going on with Saki and all that. You know, one of the best things I've seen this week, big sleazy Joe Biden awake at the wheel, walking across that old decrepit bridge. Yeah, about 5
Oh,
6
my word.
foot either side
That
of him.
was so stupid.
And the biggest applause come from the cameraman.
because he's making a big deal about these bridges that are falling down and falling apart, and it's going to take the fire department time to get there, and people are going to die. You know, I'm like, how does he know this? He just makes shit up as he goes, and he
Fire
tries
in
to
the
use that
station.
folksy tone, like he's down to earth, and he's been a rich millionaire living in Delaware with multiple homes for decades.
Yeah, Stratton boy. Hey, I love it. I love it when he speaks really soft. When he comes down, he comes looking really softly. All of a sudden, he wakes up.
Yeah, he's falling asleep. And speaking of falling asleep, he seems to have butt problems. He's ripping giant farts in front of people, allegedly shitting his pants before meeting the Pope. And now Kamala Harris had the presidential powers for a little while.
Colonoscopy.
Because the president had his butt checked out.
Well, when you're 80 years old, you want to do that every once in a while.
That's fine,
so-
but can you imagine? Now think about this. The first time a woman had the presidential power was when an old white guy had his butt looked at. That, yay, women's rights. You know?
So what's
I
going on with
I knew I'd get that response when I put it on the messenger thing.
what's going on with the marriage made in hell between Kamala and Biden? Is there a big fallout happening? What's the inside goss on that, guys?
Yeah, she's not. Well, I mean, I think they realized it almost instantly that she doesn't bring anything to the ticket. She's not popular.
Harris?
Whenever she gets approached with weird questions that she doesn't want to answer, she's got this weird cackle that she does.
Cackling hires.
I mean, her approval rating's like 28%. His is in the 30s, you know.
She got
so.
0 votes or whatever you call it there. Yeah, during the primaries.
Yeah, she was out of the primary before anybody voted.
Yeah, she got.
Nobody likes her.
Yeah, not a single person voted for her for president. And she's obviously a diversity hire. The president, Biden, even said that.
Said early on,
I need a black woman.
He wants a black woman, and so that limited his choices instantly.
I would have taken Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, actually, you know what? I would have
Here we
respected the
go.
crap out of
Thank
that.
you for opening up that can of worms.
Yes, I like.
Go, Jeffrey, go.
I like Tulsi Gabbard. I think I got it.
So
I think I got him. That's how I think I got the fly.
you need a top six, mate. You
I
need a
want
top
to see
six
the dead
to be, mate.
body.
You think? Did you think about Tulsa Gabbard? You got to fly.
But yeah, she's Hawaii, right?
It's Hawaiian. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see her in a position, and I think the Democrats wrote her off
What
too
kind of
easily.
position?
Huh?
They're walking up. Yeah.
What position?
I think she'd
On
be a
south
way
of the
better
border?
Democrat in
You're
office.
not
than the-
understanding what we're saying here.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
you-
do. And
you
okay,
forget it.
okay, doggy,
You
how's
forget
that?
I reckon she go down south to the border.
She's making a run for the border.
I don't know. I got a feeling if she got all sweaty, her face
She's
would
gonna be
melt
down
off
under.
because you can tell she wears a lot of makeup.
It doesn't worry me, mate. I washed the pillow sheets the next day.
There's a clown face on your pillow.
I'll let it sit there for a while.
Sometimes I say things on this show that make me feel bad.
Hmm.
Well, when I made that Greta joke, asking if she should share those extra chromosomes,
She's not.
I felt so bad because I was like, anyone who does get this joke realizes how inappropriate it was.
That's why we have the explicit label on the podcast.
Did you see that meme getting around on Facebook with that Greta Thunberg? She's got a swollen face and she's like she's in Glasgow when they had that meeting. And she's going, I'm not fucking living here. These frag Mars bars are fucking awesome. She goes, fuck the climate. I got her with a speed around her face. Oh, sorry, guys. It was just when I see it, I just crack up. It's hard to explain right now after 5 beers, but I'll tell you later.
That's right. And you guys actually typically have more beer, alcohol in your beer than we do up here.
Yeah, mate.
Don't get me
nowadays,
wrong, we can
I
get
don't
some
know.
heavy beers, but
Yeah.
we prefer lighter beers so we can have more of them.
We can have a bit of an exchange going on here, lads. Hey, what's the tax rate with that?
A what now?
Even
The tax
exchange.
rate.
Exchange? Oh, I have no idea what an Australian versus US dollar is.
No, mate, we might have to send you over a carton of this stuff.
Oh, I've
Yeah,
had some
send-
crazy Australian beers.
Foster's.
Oh, that's
Oh.
garbage.
Yeah.
No, it is garbage, isn't it, Ron?
Mate, we don't drink it here. We don't drink it here. We send it
No.
overseas.
The only reason that
This
it
is a giant
exists-
can, the oil can, right?
The Pongs love it.
and Outback Steakhouse, that's their claim to fame.
Foster's Australian for beer.
When I went around the world a couple of years ago, I went to America, England.
I know,
Scotland,
and
France.
you were close to me and didn't get in
Oh, I
touch.
know, brother. But I just didn't have time. But anyway, when I
I know,
went
you
to
didn't do
Scotland,
Boston either, though.
Scotland, Ireland, in England, there you walk into the pubs and that they've got all these local pubs set up. They've all got this little Foster's tap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like Sam Adams is right next to it, and Guinness, right?
Yeah, so when I walked in, because I've got the Aussie accent going, like, oh, would you like a Foster's?
Hell fucking no.
So I walk back out the pub.
No, I'm going somewhere else.
I walk straight back out.
See, I'm already upset that I'm here. You're selling me bad beer. Yeah, oh, at least push the good beer you have. That, you know what I mean?
Like a Guinness.
Oh, mate, I drank Guinness so much when I was in Ireland. Hey, absolutely beautiful.
Oh my god, it's a steak
And I'm sure it
in a
got poured
glass.
properly in Ireland, I love it when I go to a bar and ask for a Guinness and they got the beer in front of me in like 2 minutes.
They do the spoon thing and everything.
If it's poured properly, it takes like 5 minutes to pour a Guinness into.
That's what I was gonna say. If you do it the right way, you cannot get that beer in 2 minutes.
No,
You
not at
order
all.
your next pint when you got that much left in the bottom of your pint. That's when you start ordering your next
Yeah.
pint.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Depending on what you're drinking to. If you're drinking a Hefeweizen, that's when you give your glass a good swirl to
Uh-huh.
bring the sediment back up. I don't know how much you guys like unfiltered wheat beer.
I like a Hefeweizen.
I'm a huge Hefeweizen fan. They're getting really tough to find.
Speaking
Lining
of,
Kugel makes a good
I'm
one.
glad this is a perfect topic to segue into our next topic. And
Beer.
we're going back to Boston,
All right.
where they're going to add the alcohol sensors in the vehicles.
That's not just
for
in Boston.
everybody.
That's not just in Boston. That is a Boston article.
Oh, okay.
Joe
do they
Biden's
actually
new
do?
Build Back Better plan is going to put a breathalyzer in every new car made starting in like 3 years or something like that.
I guess I need
That's
to buy a new
fucking
car
stupid.
sooner than that.
Yeah, exactly what I thought. I was like, buy one right before it takes place.
Yeah.
But isn't that an infringement of fuck it on Americans' rights?
Well, of
Well, you're
course
not allowed-
it is, but
You're
nobody
not allowed to
cares.
drive drunk. That's definitely true.
No, but
But what?
No,
Who's
it's
going to
like-
set the standard on the breathalyzer in the car?
exactly right.
It's going to be 0.08, just like people that have DUIs. It's going to blow into it before the car will start. That's what it's going to be. You know that, right?
Okay, who's going to pay for this service to make it work
Taxpayers.
in the car?
Oh no, the customer.
Because, and if you got a DUI and you got that system in your car, you got to pay a monthly service fee to use that system.
And it's got to
Why?
get changed daily too. It's got to get changed around regularly. My cousin, like I won't go too far into it. He got done DUI, so he had to put one of those systems in his car. He had to pay for it. He had to pay for the service of it.
Yep.
And every time you don't correctly
this
use
David?
it, you have to go and get it reset. And it costs you more if you stuff it around. He has to pay, well, I think it was $160 each time. It had to be reset.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
not just like installing the equipment. There's got to be a monitor. Somebody's got to pay for the monitoring of the equipment.
The sure is calibrated and stuff like that.
Exactly, all that, and
Mm.
what shuts. I mean, it's got to go to some system where it shuts the ignition off, which is going to be somebody behind the scenes too. It's not. I don't know.
I also think it's gonna
There's
create
a
black
lot of
market,
problems
too.
with this plan.
It's gonna create a
Yeah,
black
it's what-
market for it too.
How many 12-year-old kids are going to make $10 a pop blowing?
Exactly. They might be able to get up to 20.
You'll back better of your $50 notes floating around everywhere. So you print your own money now.
Like what's the line of 12-year-olds doing over here in the bar at nighttime? They're making money, mate. Oh my god.
I tell you, Jake, about the Aussie gets pulled over with his family in the car for a breathalyzer.
Mm-hmm.
This copper pulls this Aussie over and he says, "Mate, blow in the bag." So the cop guy blows in the bag, you know. So the cop has a look at it. He says, "Mate," he goes, "you're over the limit." He says, "It can't be over the limit." He said, "Try the missus." So the copper goes around, gets these missus blowing the breathalyzer. Damn, she's over the limit. And the cop's going, "There could be something wrong here." And the bloke says, "Look, mate, I'm telling you, I haven't been drinking." He said, "Try the young bloke in the back." So the cop goes, "Okay, well, I'll fancy a whim here." So he goes around the young bloke, gets the young bloke to blow on the breathalyzer. He goes, "Damn, you're over the limit too." He says, "Look, mate, there's something wrong with the machine, take off." So the guy takes off, the Aussie starts his car and he takes off.
I'm glad I got my
Halfway
kid
down the
drunk
road.
tonight.
He says, "I told you didn't help give the kid 12 scooters before we left."
Yeah. Exactly. Oh my God, there's so much more stuff we haven't touched yet. And we're already an hour and a half in.
The elephant. I read The Elephant in the Room, guys. I can't wait to talk about this one.
What's
Okay,
that?
go ahead.
What the best thing that besides Kyle Rittenhouse? Liz Cheney.
Being booted out of the Republican Party,
I
basically.
loved it.
Oh, MSNBC.
I could have got an erection over that one.
That oh no! Oh my God! The insurrection when they kept calling it the erection. I laughed so hard.
Was that Al Sharpton saying that?
No, Al Sharpton. Well,
Adam Schiff.
well,
Adam
just said
Schiff.
you're privileged. We
I thought we had her on here, but I don't see it. Oh, there.
we should.
Yeah, they're
start-
gonna. The Wyoming GOP said they're not gonna recognize her as a Republican anymore.
I walked
Liz
around with a
Cheney.
smile on my face for half a day after reading that.
Well, you knew that was gonna happen because Wyoming is a very, very conservative state. So don't play it by the rules, and it is what it is.
She's
I'm
already got a
ready.
seat on the View.
Huh?
He's already got a seat on the View.
We're an hour and a half in. I think it's time to move international.
Move to what?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's
International.
be international correspondent.
Yeah, well,
Or
that's why.
COVID-19.
The
Into
international
COVID
correspondent.
topics.
You didn't want to talk about COVID.
Well, that's what Australia's here for.
Well,
That might even be
Austria.
good look, mate.
Austria
Austria.
put in a lockdown for the unvaccinated. And the next day they arrested 15,000 people. Then within 2 days, they locked down the vaccinated too. Now, I don't know how much you guys know about world history in Austria, but them locking people down and saying you can't do things, I did not see that coming. I don't know how much you guys know about Austria, like I said, but they kind of started 2 world wars and blamed it both on Germany.
One of them was blamed on Bosnia.
Huh?
The
that's
Austrian
right.
prime minister was killed in Bosnia Herzegovina.
Yeah,
That's the
Franz
first World
Ferdinand,
War.
right?
Yeah.
And they set off a war because of it.
Yep.
And because everyone had these stupid alliances, everyone had to go to war.
Yep.
Just like the European Union right now. I know I'm changing topics and I shouldn't do that. The
But you do a
European
lot.
Union right now say we can't depend on the United States to protect us. We have to have our own military. And I was like, fucking Europe. The entire continent hasn't built a defense because they expected us to handle it for them. It pisses me off. This and everyone's like, why don't you guys have healthcare paid for by the taxpayers, and why don't you have all this and this? It's because we're sending billions of dollars to Europe to give them insane weapon technology all the time. Not just Europe, Africa, Australia too. We send you guys weapons all the time.
We buy weapons off you.
Yes.
No, except subs. Come on.
Yeah.
Wasn't that just a
Yeah.
big issue with us giving
Yeah, Joe Biden fucked that
technology
up.
to the Australians about subs?
Yeah,
No,
Joe
The
Biden
French
fucked
got
that up
butt
because-
hurt.
Yeah.
Maybe
the
if we
thing
didn't,
was,
maybe if we didn't do all this, giving money to the rest of the fucking planet, maybe we could fix our damn roads. Maybe we could have universal health care.
No, we couldn't.
I
It
don't know,
would
man.
cost too much money.
If we didn't buy weapons for the rest of the planet, maybe we could.
Well,
and
the only reason the
designate our
European
young
countries
men
can
to die
afford
for
to
these
do
people.
it, the only reason the European countries can afford to do it is because they spend next to nothing on their national defense.
That's what I'm saying. And we're defending them. And that's okay. You missed
And
the
that
thing.
was a Trump
You missed the whole
issue.
thing. How about how the European Union is considering coming up with their own military because they can't expect the United States to defend them anymore. And
I
that was
say
my
go
point
for it.
was maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Maybe they should do it themselves. And we could use this money for universal health care or something,
Oh no.
or even new roads.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Oh, we're getting new roads. Don't worry. Biden's walking across all the decrepit bridges, checking them out.
Yeah, not in my town. You know that. No, you've been in Massachusetts at least once.
Yeah.
And Michigan, you know what happens in the cold with the roads? Potholes.
Yeah. Big time.
Nothing you do besides fill them back in.
Let's go get the weather girl. Come on, girl. Tell
Let's
us
go,
what it is, like-
Brandon.
yeah, we need a naked weather segment on here, boys.
Yeah, we need to get a weather statement from this.
I could probably find some stupid slut that'll take her clothes off and tell us about the weather for the week.
If you do, there'll be a can or two new coming from Australia. I'll send it. I'll even pay for postage.
Are those is that the beer company that's officially resisting the Australian mandates?
So he's new, mate.
Yeah, that's the one I've
Mate,
been reading about. That's like that. No, fuck you. We're not doing we're not doing vaccine mandates. Fuck you. We're doing it anyway. And they keep getting fined.
There's a few of them going on. I don't know if you notice what's, or if you want to go on the subject, we can go down this path now. The Aussie correspondent.
That's what you're
We've,
here for.
Guys, there's a couple of sites. I don't know if you looked at them at the moment. There's one called the Aussie Cossack. He's brilliant. There's the Royal Rushkin, RUSHKAN. He's awesome. He's showing you news how it is, and RV Yemeni. These guys are out there. And there's another guy, Turning Point Australia, Joel Jamal. These guys are right out in the scenes. And what they've been doing lately, they're showing you what the mainstream media isn't showing you.
Yeah.
Follow them.
We're not allowed to
Get
see it.
greater understanding
Facebook
of what's going on.
doesn't. Facebook doesn't allow anything, and the American news media doesn't think anything's happening in Australia.
Well, that's what.
The fight back's on. The fight back's on big time. We had our gutless Prime Minister come out last week, and he's going after so many people are vaccinated now, saying all these state premiers now, you've got to start relaxing everything, But the federal government have got the power. They told everyone to say, right, there's going to be no mandates, no mandate vaccinations. And he sat back on his fucking ass while the state premiers come out and done all these dictatorial bullshit to us all. People lost jobs. People have lost livelihoods. People have been in business and worked for over 20, 30 years, have lost it all now because they've been mandated that they've got to have these jabs. And now the pushback's gone. People are saying, fuck you, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
We're getting now protest meetings of 150,000 people at each protest meeting. And the government just can't ignore it anymore.
150,000?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, 5,000 people. Yeah, we'll write that off. Yeah, 10,000 people. Yeah, we'll write that off. When you start getting 150,000 people, that's in each capital city now. Plus, like the tide's turning now, and the police are starting to ease up now. You see
100,000 people don't live within 5 miles of me. Like if you drew a circle around my home, that's 5 miles in every direction, there would not be 100,000 people.
Well, there was a mass protest yesterday in Sydney. Melbourne had it last Saturday.
Mhm.
Sydney had it yesterday. But what they did, they spoke with the police, where the police have been really heavy-handed on everyone protesting that. They've been shooting people with rubber bullets and everything, you know. But the thing is now the police are starting to turn real.
You guys use rubber bullets?
The coppers used them on our people.
Oh my
Oh,
God. I'd rather be
From-
pepper sprayed than hit the rubber bullet, wouldn't you?
Point range, like point blank range. I was shooting people.
Oh, rubber bullets can kill you too. Believe it or
Yeah,
not.
they're
Like
not gonna
it's
hurt.
They're that big, mate.
yeah, it's coming out of the barrel of a gun at the speed of sound.
I'll show you the video. I'll get some videos and I'll send them to you and show you. You know, and now the police are starting to realise they can't win this. And there's a couple of coppers now.
You need to
who've
get
left
out
their
of
jobs.
you need to get out of Australia now before you're not allowed to. And it's getting pretty close to you not being allowed to leave, and you know it.
The thing is now, we're opening up. Things are starting to open up. Our state borders will be opening up. I think it's in about 3 weeks' time.
Oh, in a couple
With
weeks, you'll
stunning-
be allowed to travel between states. Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out before you're not allowed to. No,
Mate,
sooner or
you know
later
what
they're
the
gonna tell you
big-
you can't leave.
The
It's a
biggest problem
penal
is-
colony, dude.
People out there, the fools and the sheep out there, have turned around and said, "Oh yeah, goody, we're getting our freedom back when we're doing the right thing by them." We own the fucking freedom. We have the freedom.
Right.
No government's got the right to take away from us, and this is where we've fallen down because all these people, the way the new society is, the new generation of people come through, it's been bred into them. You know, here's your iPads, here's your bloody, your phones.
Well,
Do
what
all the
I'm-
shit. You get on, go to mainstream media. You know, what I'm saying is they've all been brainwashed. They don't know how to stand up. They don't know how to fucking protect their rights.
well, no.
And now they think because we get this,
I've-
we give our freedoms back.
I've brought this up before. And actually, you and your buddy there, David. I'm not gonna put his last name out on the show.
He's all right.
But you
Dave's a
guys
good
are
guy.
giving me some shit before when I was talking about gun rights. More than once, you guys are giving me shit. It's like, don't be a pussy, get into a fist fight. I was like, I don't think you
Yeah.
understand. Sometimes the government has to be, you have to have a way to stop what's going on. Sometimes, like Rittenhouse, that kid absolutely needed a firearm that night to survive, right?
Yeah.
And I think you absolutely need an armed population to keep the government in check. Do you know there's more
Well,
guns in the United States than people?
Well, I always say to you, mate, once you give up your Second Amendment rights, you guys are fucked. They'll come and screw
Yeah.
you.
They'll take everything else right after it. Just like
Yeah.
the media doesn't have a First Amendment right, according to the United States First Amendment, to publish what's going on because the government told them they can't do it.
Well, Australia is the test case, mate. We are the test case for the rest of the world.
And it's finally, the shit's finally hit the fan, and a lot of people realizing, I wish I didn't give up my gun.
Well, you know what the biggest thing that's coming around now, and people don't realise, we're going to start having elections very shortly. And people
Vote
have
them
got
all
good
out.
memories.
Every single one of them.
Yep. This, I don't know if you realise, I don't know if you heard this, Daniel Andrews, he's the Premier of Victoria. He's
All
been
right.
the biggest dictator getting around. This down in Victoria, Melbourne, where all this big shit's going on, mate. The police have been like black shirts, mate, going through killing people, belting people and all that sort of shit. Mate, Daniel Andrews tried to push through a bill in Parliament, it's trying to go through Victorian Parliament right now, the state Parliament, that he has sole power to call a pandemic anytime he wants. He has sole
crazy.
power to lock down anyone without consulting his government and get the opposition.
So he wants to be
okay
king.
with it.
Yeah.
He wants to be king, mate. It's
He wants to
going
be
through.
king.
Check it out. Check it out. Google it. He's
Never.
trying to pass it through.
No, see, that's the problem is you don't want to vote for a politician. That's why I was so excited about Trump, honestly. And he didn't do what I thought he would do, but in general, I approve. But anyone who wants to be a politician is evil. You know what I mean? If you go to school to study political science, you clearly just want to rule over people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I hate the idea of government. And I think the most qualified person to serve in the highest place of power is the person who wants to do it the least.
Well, then you're gonna
Honestly.
like our new governor in Virginia because he's never been a politician before either.
Actually, I think I like this Durr guy in New Jersey better because he didn't want to have anything to do with it.
He's a truck driver.
Yeah,
Truck
and he just
driver.
said, you know what? Finally, you know what? Someone has to do something, and you know what? If it's not going to be me, who's it going to be?
Exactly.
Good for him. That's the guy I think should be in charge.
Well, how big was that red wave in Virginia? Like, how big was that?
That's huge.
The whole Youngkin thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Youngkin, the attorney general, the lieutenant governor.
Yeah, that was a big swing. That's actually I put a giant red wave as the icon for that one, didn't I?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
but almost New Jersey too took it by surprise. Almost.
Until
Well,
the middle of
Jersey
the
took
night.
over the senator seat.
Yeah, the Senate by the almost the
Not the
government too.
governor.
That was
Yeah.
a close race too.
But it was the middle of the night counting that crewed it, wasn't it? Didn't they stop the votes, like the counting as well too?
Well, what's
In
even
New
funny is the guy that was in charge in Jersey
in front.
refused to give up. He's like, keep counting the votes. I was like, oh, they're gonna find a crate of like 100,000
Yeah.
votes at like 3 in the
Uh-huh.
morning, and then they did find a giant
Yeah.
crate of votes,
Big surprise.
and it still wasn't enough because they didn't realize how much people said anything but
Fuck
a
you.
Democrat.
How do you guys see? I've got to ask you a question. How do you see 2022 coming on? Do you really see a massive wave coming? Red
It's
wave?
gonna be a bloodbath for the Democrat Party.
Maybe, but all
I
it takes,
definitely think they will lose the House and this. I think we're gonna gain the House and the Senate. I think it's gonna be I mean, that's what people are like. In all the polling you're seeing right now, that's what they want, a divided government where the president is one party and the House and the Senate are different parties.
do you think Elizabeth Warren is gonna lose her job?
No,
Is she going for re-election?
Obviously.
no,
No. Fuck.
because
She
it's
should
in
be
your
pretty
state,
good.
and your state loves to vote for national Democrats.
Yeah, but they vote Republican for their own local economy, local
Yeah.
government.
Yeah.
When you explain that to me, I'll be happy to hear it.
What about Sarah Huckabee Sanders? How's she looking? Pretty red hot at the
You think
moment.
she's gonna run?
She was talking for
Right.
governor now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
she-
know about
What governor? What state?
that. From her
Arkansas.
home state,
What
Arkansas.
state that?
Arkansas. Yeah,
Arkansas.
where her dad was governor.
Apparently CNN are now get behind it too.
Mike Huckabee, right?
Yeah.
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 Actually, that
The
was one of the
daughter.
handful of shows I actually watched on Fox News. I'm losing more and more faith in Fox News. Actually, I have no faith in Fox News anymore. But I did laugh my balls off. Did you see the thing with Laura Ingraham talking to someone about a show called You?
No.
Oh my god.
I
At
don't
least-
watch Laura Ingraham.
Neither do I. I heard it on a podcast, but the guy was saying, "Oh yeah, when on You, there was a measles or whatever about a measles thing, or whatever." For at least a minute and a half, Laura Ingraham was swearing that she didn't have measles. She's never had measles because she thought you meant her. And she goes, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I'm talking about you." It was so funny. Yeah, anyway, there was like a minute and a half of her saying, like, "I've never had measles. I think you're crazy." Whatever.
Got to tell you another one I like, too, guys. One of your politicians, that Marjorie Taylor Greene. How good is she?
Oh yeah.
I
She's
followed
been
her.
stripped of all her committee chairmanships too.
Yeah, they scare her.
I'm still not sure what to think of her, honestly.
Mate, I love her. I
She's
don't
like
follow
She's like another Amanda Chase from Virginia. Amanda Chase used to go over here in Virginia. She used to carry a gun with her on her side whenever she went to Congress, the House of Representatives.
Yeah, they gave her a hard time about it every time.
And people were like, she was a little bit off the wall sometimes. Like, God damn it, lady. She's another Trump. Like, don't know when to shut the fuck up.
Yes.
She just like, shut the fuck up, lady. Like,
Yeah, you've made
good,
your
I
point.
like you.
Stop talking.
Stop talking. Like, and she like,
Yep.
I thought she was badass because she used to carry a revolver with her. Like, God damn it, a revolver. People don't know. It's
They're
really
more
hard to shoot.
reliable.
Yeah, but it's like the recoil and everything. Like the trigger pulling is fucking hard on a revolver
Well,
compared to a
hold on, hold on.
regular.
It depends on a lot of things. One, you don't pull a trigger, you squeeze the trigger, right?
You know what I mean?
Yes, but it depends. Is it a single action? Is it a double action? A
I
single
know the
action,
about.
it's
I
more
tried
effort.
38.
Oh no,
38
she definitely had a
fucking
double
special.
action.
I think so. I don't know, but
No, there's no
38
way
single action.
I'm just
That
saying, there's no way she
motherfucking
had to cock the hammer herself.
trigger squeeze is fucking hard as fuck. I like, god damn, this shit's hard. You know,
Well, again,
like,
it depends on what you're firing out of it too. You know,
yeah.
were you blasting a 40 round out of a snub nose? You know,
It's just fucking a Saturday night special, okay?
oh,
38
it's a
special.
38.
Yeah.
It's a 38 with an extended cartridge, a little extra kick to make sure that you're not going to get raped tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, believe it or not, the Saturday Night Special was actually designed to help women do not be raped. It was a very
but the fuck
small gun that would
it's
stop
really
someone
hard to squeeze the
immediately.
trigger.
Huh?
No, it's really hard to squeeze the trigger of that shit.
Yeah, but that, like I said, that one was designed for just to help a woman not be
To carry-
raped,
to
and she
carry in
could
your
put it up against
pocket.
his chest and just boom.
It's designed to be carried in the pocket and stuff. Doesn't go
It's
off. on the
tiny
pocket.
too.
Yeah.
I say tiny. Yeah, I don't know. 3 by
Compared
3
to a regular
maybe.
handgun, yeah.
Oh, 3 by 3. Look at numerology showing up again, Brian. Ray, did you check out the No Agenda show?
No, you guys never sent me the link, so I don't know.
All right.
I
I was
will
just gonna say
send you
that.
the
It's like, maybe
damn
I'll
link.
send you a link.
I'm waiting for the link.
No,
Yeah, maybe
whatever.
I'll send you a link. That's a corkscrew
Yeah, it's for my open bottle.
for wine, obviously.
No, he's drinking.
Oh, he's
he's
using the
drinking
bottle opener?
Connor. He's drinking bottle.
Mm.
He's going sophisticated.
But anyone who does listen to us, honestly, check out the No Agenda show with John C. Dvorak and Adam Curry. They do something similar to what we do,
But they're
they don't
sober.
get. Well,
It's
they don't get
actually
drunk.
well, no, one of them's sober. The other one's smoking weed.
Well, he's got a prescription just like me, though.
No, he doesn't.
you
I thought he
big
did.
prescription where you put your money on.
Actually, it costs less on the black market anyway. No, it really does. Going to the dispensary buying this shit's insane.
So whenever you get robbed, you're like, okay, let's go for the prescription. They got money on that. Such money on that thing.
I need the Percocets. I could sell that shit wicked cheap.
Hey, did you hear about some of the biggest news hitting Australia at the moment?
No, go for
Yeah,
it.
what's
No,
up?
what's up?
Australian Open's coming around soon, the tennis. And if you can't get vaccinated, like they're not going to allow in. So a couple of the top seeded tennis
Said
players
we're not
won't be able
gonna
to come
play?
out here. Yeah, they won't be allowed in. So anyway,
Oh,
biggest conspiracy theory at the moment is Chinese tennis superstar female, I forget her name, Xi Jinping Panda or whatever it is. I don't know.
hey, Xing Jinping, panda sauce,
Bang bang, chin
soy
chin, bang,
sauce.
you give it chin chin, you
I
bang
love
bang.
my soy sauce.
I do too. Actually, hey, let's be honest. China's a giant piece of property, and there's some really good food that comes out of there.
Oh,
let's be fair here.
because girls,
We all eat Chinese food and we all love it.
Girl says,
main.
she goes, why don't you eat fish that comes from China? So because we've got the biggest island in the world, we've got the ocean around us, we've got seafood here. I said, I'm not going to eat something that comes out of the bloody, the rivers over there. She said, but you eat their Chinese food here. I said, yeah, but the stuff's coming from here, So we had a bit of a debate about this. But get back to this tennis player, eh? There was a couple of Aussie female tennis players. Because what happened was this Xi Jinping Panda, she criticised one of the Chinese Communist Party leaders, and said that the sexual harassment. No one's seen her.
I definitely heard something about this actually.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Chinese Communist Party's released pictures of her, like saying, "Oh, you're welcome. I'm here. But they were dated back in 2018, 2019, and then she hasn't been sighted bloody ever since.
Well, no, we could say China's terrible because of this, but let's look at what happened to that American gymnast. What's her name?
Yeah, right?
Huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and he raped like 40. The team doctor raped like 40 of these gymnasts.
Yeah.
And
Nothing's
the
going
FBI
to
is
happen,
supposed to
and you know
investigate
it, huh?
And the FBI is supposed to investigate it, but they dropped the ball on it.
Yeah, and nothing's going to happen, and you know it. And yeah, we want to pretend like we don't do this shit that these geez, look at Ray go. Like these third world countries and or China. I don't consider China a third world country, but they act like they are. We're not doing that much better over here. Like this guy was hired by the United States to take care of these young girls, and then he like raped them. You know?
Well, it's interesting we talk about like things like China, China trying to put the scare tactics on Australia at the moment. You guys don't realise it with all the shit that's building up with Taiwan and that. China trying to flex a bit of muscle. Like they're flying all those flights into the Taiwan airspace. Have you heard about those?
Yeah.
They
That was a
picked
while
some
ago,
flights
actually.
Yeah, only a few weeks ago. It's only 2 weeks ago.
I think we talked about it
And
on the
now-
show, actually.
And now China threatened Australia. They said if we come to the aid of Taiwan, we're going to be fucking blown off the face of the world, or the face of the map, of the world. You know, and we think, you know, like fucking bring it on, China. Just fucking bring it on. Don't say it. Just fucking do it.
Let's start the
We're
fight.
sick of it.
Let's just do it. How's that? Like it's coming. We all know it. Let's just get it over with, right? No,
you look
it's
what's
terrible as
happening
it sounds. Let's just go ahead and kill our young men. You know,
Yeah.
reduce our population, reduce our productivity to stop China from taking over the fucking planet.
Well, what did China got, mate? You look, they've got farmers and fucking people who don't give a shit. They've got some good people in China. People there who
Yeah.
want to fight against the Communist Party. You know what I mean? It's all propaganda. It's all come from this fucking propaganda machine. You know, and people are getting sick of it. You look at these nations around the world. You look at Japan now. You guys are giving Japan licenses to start building up their fucking military now.
Yeah, and I'm surprised it took us this long, to be honest. Don't get me wrong. Japan was why we joined World War II.
Exactly.
And it was the only nuclear weapons deployed in warfare.
Yep.
But China, I'm sorry, not China, Japan is actually, they kind of realized that it's like, we're ancient. So we were literally sending guys into combat with swords in World War II. It's like, these guys dropped a bomb that wiped out a city in the blink of an eye. And that's why you got Samsung and all these crazy companies coming out of China now. China realized like we're out of date, and they caught up. And I'm surprised it took us this long because they've been Japan's actually been, well, like you said, according to the treaty we signed with them, they were not allowed to have a military.
Exactly.
Period.
All right, guys. Hey, I'm out of here. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
Yeah,
have fun,
have
bro.
Good day. Don't get too drunk now.
Yeah.
We will.
See, brother.
All right, later.
Yeah,
Yeah, but mate, the thing is, you look what's going on there now. Like it's I don't know. Like I think arming up Japan might be a good option. I think the threat
against
of what
China,
Japan
yeah.
you know what I mean? I think that's going to be the biggest option that the world could have in that Southeast Asian area.
Thing is, Japan's a little tiny island, and a couple of smaller islands in an isthmus.
Yes, but still, I tell you what, they'll have a powerful military if they're allowed to build it back up again with supplies.
You can say that all you want, but power military is it's not technology, it's people. To be fair, look at what Russia did in World War II. They built garbage tanks, like they're absolute shit, but they made 100 million of them, and it would deflect a bullet. Yeah, an RPG would take it out, but you had to have an RPG, a rocket propelled grenade. And these guys roll in with 100 million tanks, and you only had 45 RPGs. What do you do? You know?
Well, mate, to be fair,
And,
too,
Ru-
look
and
like
Japan just doesn't have the people to do that. To even operate the equipment.
Yeah. Mate, look, they've got the willpower behind it too. But you look, I'm going to say something might be a bit sort here, but you look like Afghanistan. The Afghanistanis, mate. Look what they did to England. Look what they did to bloody Russia. Look what they did to you guys.
To the United States. It's an empire destroyer.
Yeah,
It really is, isn't it?
yeah.
Well,
look what
Soviet
English
Union
did.
ended because basically the Soviet Union ended immediately after their fight in
With
Afghanistan.
Yeah,
It
they
ended an
shit all over
empire.
them. And they're killing them as they're leaving. How many tanks are blowing up as they leave in Afghanistan?
Man, how much money did we leave sitting there and helicopters and
Technology.
oh my god, that they we disabled it. Oh, yeah, but you left it there so they could copy it.
Exactly. How many Russians now? The Russians are going to get all your stuff as well too.
Yeah, because it's worth a
Chinese.
ton of money. I'll sell you this helicopter. I'll
How
sell you
much?
this tank for $1 billion.
I'll take two.
Huh?
I'll take two.
Take
Take
two.
Yeah, $2 billion, two helicopters.
Mm. Yeah,
Especially if
exactly.
you have-
I'll take two.
Especially if you have $1 trillion note there.
Problem is you only need one, because then you can copy the technology. Right?
Yep.
That's actually why the United States Navy scuttles ships instead of being taken prisoner, right? You
Yep.
cannot have our technology. We'll sink it to the bottom of the fucking ocean. And if you try to go dig it up, we'll blow you up.
Well, I'm going to tell you a story. And I hope you believe this one. Do you know how Chinese got their aircraft carriers?
The little tiny ones.
Yeah.
They have
bought
like
Australia's
two,
only-
right?
They bought Australia's only aircraft carrier.
They bought
We had-
Australia sold them an aircraft carrier.
Yep, years and years ago, mate. Sold it to Chinese.
Oh no.
Yep. Not many
So
people know
Australia
about that
signed their
one.
own death warrant, huh?
Yep.
No, because
They
they got some technology from the US now, not the France.
You're right.
Yes.
France is pissed.
Big time. Macron, yeah. Oh, Macron came out a few of the old press conferences and give it to our Prime Minister. And he was assisted by the rest of Australians, giving it to our Prime Minister as well, too.
Oh,
It's a
Brian,
stranger world we live in.
anything else you guys want to talk about? There's tons more stuff, but I don't want to do another 3-hour show because
I thought we were talking Australia now.
that's where we're going then. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
I mean, I'm done with all the topics on our list for the most part. I think we just focus on the international news now.
Yeah. Well, I really don't want to do 3-hour shows.
Oh no, I agree.
I got 0 views on YouTube this week, and granted, I've been pushing the Rumble more, but I only got 6. No one wants to click on a fucking 3-hour video. You know what I mean? You know that's true. Like I listen to this shit, these kind of things, and I still won't click on a 3-hour show.
Told you what you need, mate. You need a naked weather section.
Well, that's the problem is we're trying. Okay, it's my fault. Brian keeps saying maybe we should do a video show, and I keep saying
don't
no.
wanna do it.
I want it audio. I want an audio only version because I want you to be able to listen to it at work and listen to the show. Because that's how I listen to my podcasts. You know what I mean? But
Couldn't you compromise and get a naked weather section?
you'd have to watch it to have the naked weather, though.
That's a good point.
I had 8 downloads on audio last month.
Yeah. See,
last
no one
week.
listened because it was 3 hours.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Uh.
Nah, that's all right, guys. Anyway, what do you want to know about Australia?
Oh,
Fire 'em at me.
honestly, I'm looking at Australia thinking that they're gonna give me a heads up at what might come here.
Yeah.
And Granted, the whole gun thing comes every time I think Australia it comes up. And like I said, you guys used to give me a hard time. I was like, no, you have an absolute right to own a gun. And you used to give me a hard time.
You
Granted,
deserved
this
it,
was
mate.
a while ago, but not.
Yeah, but you deserved it.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, holy shit, the government's out of control. It's like, I wish I had a fucking gun, right?
Yeah. And people talk about it now. You're talking about gun
That's
rights.
why we have the whole Second Amendment. Is sometimes the government says "fuck you," and I'm supposed to be able to say no, fuck you, right?
Well, that's why your Second Amendment was put in the first place, wasn't it? It wasn't, to keep yourselves under control, to keep the government in control.
Well, that's an argument people use is it's against the government, but in general, is I have a right to defend my life, my property, and what I've done. Period. End of conversation, right?
Yeah.
And if it takes a firearm to do it, then that's what it takes. And when it comes to self-defense laws, actually, nationwide, this is what gets me. Nationwide, self-defense laws are by any means necessary. Like you could literally nuke Australia to defend your life if you could prove that you had to nuke Australia to save your life. Anything you need to do to preserve your life is acceptable or within the law. How's that?
Well, I'm going to throw something at you guys. Like you guys both been in the military and all that. You both, you pretty much worldly,
Yeah,
got
we
world
served.
resources, knowledge of
Yeah.
that. What's your thoughts, guys, on a nation that deploys its own military to force a mandate on people? What's your thoughts on that?
Authoritarianism.
Yeah.
And what do you do with authoritarianism? You cut it at the feet, don't you? Cut it at the legs.
Well, I actually I brought this up to the wife recently because I was worried about Biden's vaccine mandate coming down through OSHA.
Uh-huh.
And I was bringing up the whole it's everyone's duty to resist. And she's like, no, it's fucking not. Like they didn't sign up. They didn't take the same oath you did. They don't understand that they never signed up to say it is my duty to fight against tyranny and oppression. And she made a good point. I realized that because it's in your oath to sign up, right, Brian?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's
but
a lifelong oath too. It's not just
lifelong. I was never released from this oath to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And the Constitution is that threat. But the problem is, when is it time to pick up a rifle versus doing what we do and doing a show? Because I don't want to take up arms against my own government. I really, really don't. Because even if I survive, I'm going to be in prison forever.
Right. Like the people from January 6th.
Yeah, exactly. I'll sit in jail for over a year without a trial, which is unconstitutional.
Yeah.
You have a right to a speedy trial. The jury appears, yada yada.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that? Because what our government have done, our governments, they use military force and they've used like the police force as well. And it's all gone against them. And now the tide's turning. Now the tide's turning big time.
Your police
Now
don't carry guns, do they? Not
Yeah,
with bullets. They do?
Our police do. Yeah.
But
Our
you
police are
can't
armed.
have one.
That's right.
Oh,
Our
I
police are
thought the
very
police were unarmed too. No, that's
New Zealand.
basically the
and
government
England.
said we can have guns, but you can't.
Yep.
That is authoritarianism.
New Zealand police don't carry guns.
England don't carry guns.
Yeah, the British Isle coppers don't carry guns. But our coppers
Australian
do. Our
police
coppers
do.
very much, mate. They're highly bloody armed.
So they can shoot you, but you can't shoot back.
Exactly right.
That sounds like a terrible trap, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, exactly right. It's a bit of a different story if you both got guns, isn't it?
Well, this is why I support gun rights. The government shouldn't be allowed to own a weapon that you're not allowed to own. Period.
For a lot of years, like we were brought up, mate, you use guns if you're on properties and all that. So like inner cities, you brought up, you don't really need a gun. That's what we were in Australia.
Yes.
You know?
Now I understand you guys are so allowed to hunt, right?
Yeah, we can still
Yes.
hunt, but you can't have a criminal conviction. You get done for domestic violence. You can never
Same
have a
thing
gun.
here is actually you're not allowed to own a firearm with any felony conviction.
Yep.
If you have a felony conviction, you cannot own a gun. But you also can't vote either, though. You know?
We lose our licenses and get fined if we don't vote. If we don't vote, we get a fine in the mail.
Oh, like Kim Jong-un.
If we don't pay that fine, we get our license taken away from us, our driver's license.
Are you allowed to vote for no one?
Yeah, you do that, but that vote goes to the government in at the time. So,
Yeah,
like, for
I
example,
forgot about that. You guys are required to vote.
we're the only country in the world that has to, besides like dictatorships.
You're not you're not in a dictatorship.
No, mate, we are. Because
let's be fair here. You guys are in a dictatorship and you know it.
Australia is really a social democratic country, mate, to be honest with you. We were almost going to go down the path of communism there at one stage. This is back in what, early 50s, 60s, going towards the 70s. We're looking to go down that path. And things changed big time. We were very union strong back then. Then the right wing started the liberalism out here in Australia. It's like your Democrats in America.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is you guys have shit all completely different than we do it, and it makes it confusing to have these conversations. Right wing is the
Liberal Party. But you guys, it's back to front. But yeah, it's back then, mate. Like we were going to go down a real social, communist sort of style. But it all changed. But you look at Australia, we do a lot of things. We pay a lot of things from the government from our money. That it's like a socialist system, sort of.
Well, you guys,
our social security.
You guys can turn over your president. I'm sorry, prime minister. Is that what you guys have?
Yeah. But we don't. We can only do it every 3 years.
Well, you can turn them over with very easily with a vote.
It's the parties where we lost our prime ministers and all that. It comes from internal bickering in the party itself.
I'm just saying, like, in the last 7 years, you guys have kicked out 5 prime ministers.
We have the actual party has. The internal bickering and backstabbing has. So we've got the Labor and the Liberal parties. Labor are like your Democrats. The Liberals are like your Republicans. And the internal bickering inside the party has got rid of the Prime Minister. So whoever's number 3, 2 and 3 have backstabbed the Prime Minister. He got in that position. And that's how it worked here. That's how we got rid of him. But there's a new party coming in Australia. I used to be a Labor supporter. That'd be your Democrats. Mate, I've gone to this new party called the United Australia Party. They've now just picked up 80,000. Look, our numbers are going to be completely small, your numbers, okay? But the United Australia Party has now picked up 80,000 members, new members. And in Australia, the major parties, the Liberal Party has got something like 32,000 members nationally. The Liberal Party, 32,000 members. The Labor Party's got something like 40-something thousand members nationally because they're a union-based organisation, the Labor Party.
You're making your politics sound so difficult, but it's just as difficult as our politics, huh?
The United Australia Party have now picked up 80,000 members because of all this bullshit going down lockdown in the last 3 months. That's fucking big news here.
Yeah.
It may sound difficult to you But to me, it sounds very similar to what we got going on in the US.
Yeah, I said the same thing. It's like this is exactly what's happening right here, but at least we have
We
the
got the
Constitution to protect us in some of
Constitution.
this stuff.
We got the Constitution that limits the government to do what they're doing.
Well,
little
the
bit.
thing is, United Australia Party, when they come in, they've made a pledge now. Australia, we haven't got a Bill of Rights.
I know
But
you
you
don't.
guys got a Bill of Rights.
Problem is the Bill of Rights shouldn't exist. It shouldn't be necessary. They only did this because they thought that people were fucking stupid
Yeah.
and might not recognize your God-given rights.
But they are.
Well, the thing is, this COVID has now brought about the essentialness that we need a Bill of Rights.
Yeah,
We don't need mandate it. We don't need to be vaccinated. Government got no right to tell us what to put in our bodies.
you gonna run for office, Ron?
Mate, I love to, but years ago I wasn't the best boy getting around, put it that way.
Neither were we.
Run for prime minister or whatever. Be like, hey, my collar's blue. You
No,
know?
you don't understand what he's saying.
Oh, I missed something.
He's got a
Sorry.
checkered past, like
No,
we
you could've-
do.
that's why
Put
I'm
in
not doing
points in.
politics. Is I'm looking at the show I fucking do. I publish this
That's
shit
why
every
I
week.
can't do it either.
You got
Yeah.
the fucking Don't Tread Me flag in the background. I got bearded men make great lovers shirts.
It's known as the Gadsden flag, by the way.
I like
Yeah.
too many drugs in the past.
Well, it predates the United States.
I couldn't say I never smoke a joint or anything in the past.
Yeah,
I'd
it was,
lie on
it
that
was
one.
an old Navy flag. And it hurts people's butts, and I don't know why. Like seriously, look at it for a second, Amp. Don't tread on me, right? And it's a
Yeah.
rattlesnake. Yeah, known as the gentleman's snake, because a rattlesnake will give you a warning before it bites you. It rattles its tail, right? Hey, back off. Don't step on me.
Yep.
That's why it's on the flag. And actually, this flag, there's another one. This is the at peace flag. That's saying that I'm not looking for war. There's other ones, cut them into sections.
Oh, mate, good thing you've got no Aussie snakes on there.
Huh?
Fucking at war straight away. It's a good thing you got no Australian snakes on there.
Your flag sucks, dude.
Bullshit. Don't tell me that. Where
You
people
have,
die
you
over
have an
that.
English flag.
Yeah.
You have an English flag that's some stars. Come on.
Hey, they're not just some stars, brother. That's the Southern Cross there.
Southern
Okay.
And that's the Constitution.
You guys don't have
That
a
star makes
constitution,
up
though.
6 states. Yeah, we have.
Huh?
Southern Cross.
Constellation.
No, it's part of the Constitution. This like
No, okay.
what it is. We got this right. Okay, the Australian flag come all under Constitution, right? We put the Southern Cross on there. The English flag reminds us where we come from. That is the start. That's
You
supposed
were
to be
a
federal
penal
constitution.
colony.
Yeah, we were left for
Back
dead,
in the
mate.
day, they're
Yeah,
the ones
well,
that
back in the
sat
day.
down.
Why haven't they revolted, honestly? And Scotland revolted for like 400 years and finally just gave up and said, we're bitches. Didn't they?
Because of the rum. Rum, mate. You know what our currency out here at one stage was? Rum.
Yeah.
Look up the rum rebellion. Look up the rum
Actually,
rebellion.
Scotland's known for whiskey, but the United States, we said, fuck you guys. You know?
Look up the rum rebellion, mate.
No. I've actually heard about the Rum Rebellion. Oh, there's a whole bunch of said about that. I'm gonna say, I think Australia should say, and Canada, honestly, Canada should say we're not United Kingdom anymore.
Oh, look, we've had
Why do you care about the Queen?
well, mate, I think once she dies, things are gonna change.
She's gonna die within a month.
No, she'll be around a lot longer, Lizzie.
This is a prediction. Within a month, she's dead.
You reckon?
Yep, this
I'll
is my
send you a beer
prediction.
if you're right. I'll send you a beer if you're right. You know, she's 90-something years of age.
She's sick. They've been doing all sorts of the weird stuff, hiding her. She's gonna be dead within a month.
You reckon?
I do.
Yeah.
This is my
5, mate.
prediction.
Look,
My prediction: within a month, the Queen of the United Kingdom will be dead, and Prince Charles will be king.
no, she's not the Queen of the United Kingdom. She's Queen of the Commonwealth of England.
I see. I'm still not sure what all this shit means.
Commonwealth of Britain.
So she's not your queen.
Yeah, she's my queen. She's my queen.
So she's
See,
queen of the United Kingdom.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what happens is, right? Because England colonized so many countries and that. Right?
Yeah, and at least one place said, "Nah, fuck you."
Well, you know, India's part of the Commonwealth too.
India, yeah, India's count.
India.
India is United Kingdom.
Yeah,
I
part of the
thought they
Commonwealth.
got their independence a while ago.
They did, but they're still part of the Commonwealth.
Oh,
know where
like
the Commonwealth
Scotland got their independence.
Scotland haven't got their independence. Scotland is still ruled by an English Parliament. Scotland got the representatives in England in the British Parliament.
Yeah,
So
they fought a 400-year war over that shit,
yeah, and they kicked England's ass. They kicked the bomb's ass.
and somehow they're still United Kingdom. Like, what
Robert the
happened?
Bruce said- Well, mate, you listen to the song bloody Flower of Scotland, the Scottish national anthem. It tells how they kicked King Edward's ass and sent him back home. That's the national anthem.
Well, when I think of kings of England, I think of was it King George III? He was king when the United States revolted.
Yep.
I don't believe in monarchy, especially a bloodline heritage. I think that's fucking stupid.
Well, they're all inbred, mate.
But
They're all
I
bloody-
understand that people have different opinions. And actually, your buddy David gave me a hard time, a really hard time, after that whole Oprah Winfrey and Meghan Markle interview.
Oh, true. Did he?
Oh, I was like, oh, hold on. I was like, you have like two of the richest women on the planet getting together and complain about how they're oppressed. You know, I was like, this is bullshit. Oprah Winfrey is the richest woman on the planet.
Yeah.
Meghan Markle is
the queen
not
is.
that far behind. And
The queen.
she's a fucking princess.
I think you find the Queen of England's the richest female on the planet.
I'm not sure what the rules are. I don't think she technically owns that wealth.
And Gina Reinhardt here in Australia, I think she might be up there as well too. Is one of the richest women in the world.
Like that. We don't even count this guy in the conversation anymore, but the Sultan of United Arab Emirates is the richest person on the planet. But we don't even bring it up in conversation because he just owns everything out of the entire UAE. Like he owns all the oil that comes out. He owns everything. But we never bring him up in terms of the richest man in the world because he just literally stole it. You know?
Isn't it amazing, like places like the UAE and that, you know, like you don't hear much about them, but they're involved in everything.
Oil.
Yeah.
So much money and gold. Oh my God, so much gold.
It's absolutely
Anyway.
amazing.
Anyway, we gotta cut this off. Oh my God, I can't
Right,
stop
brother.
hiccuping. We gotta cut this off.
It's always been a pleasure, my mate.
Yeah, Brian, help me out. I'm hiccuping.
You know, a pat in the back.
That's exactly what I need.
Turn around, mate.
Let
Turn
me hit
around.
you in the back. Did it work?
You're right, mate. Don't go dying on me. Yeah.
Hit the wrong button. End the
could
show
have a
for
live
me.
Snuff.
All right.
We could have a live snuff film, yeah.
All right. Well, this is the Jeffrey and Brian show. And it's great having Ron visiting from Australia, giving us the international perspective. And we'll be back next week.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy your time.
There will be crickets.
Maybe. It might be too cold for him now.
All right.
Thanks,
Deuces.
lads. Enjoy your time.